Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. Oh, duck.
It's the divine pose. Yeah,
the,
the like.
I don't know why I did it this way. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of these, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Very nice.
E.T.? Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. I was thinking Michelangelo, but
Nice,
yeah.
that works too.
Sorry.
Really,
Pretty sure.
I was thinking it was more like a Hong Kong blood opera, right? With just like Mexican standoffs all over the place.
I can tell that my hearing's starting to like. I heard honk honk blood opera, and I
Honk
was like,
honk.
I don't know what that is, but that
Honk
sounds awesome. Like, let's
A
party.
Hong Kong blood opera?
Yeah.
Those are just geese.
That is true. Very good.
Horrible geese.
Canada geese
Our
are
shirts are so loud.
really fancy. Sorry, everyone.
Y'all,
We didn't blend.
you've been
this
here
way.
for hours, so I could have noticed, and I didn't at all.
It's so It's.
I wonder-
I chose this.
The other thing I'll point out right now, and I don't know why,
Yeah.
is that Scott looks taller than the rest of us today.
Maybe I'm sitting up on my.
My posture is terrible.
I don't know, actually.
One of the things you can spend XP
Oh,
on
you're
should be like, remind Liz to sit up straight.
Right? Posture
Posture
check.
check.
Posture check, yeah.
I owe me 2 Cokes now. What the hell?
damn. I'm pretty sure I was wearing this before you were wearing your shirt today.
It's funny because. Never mind.
I see what I'm wearing under the black.
If it's this shirt, I would be
Oh my God.
ecstatic.
Na-na-na-na-na.
And Kate also like underneath.
Na-na-na.
Oh boy. Hi everyone.
Oh,
I
I think I
popped
know
a
what I'm
button
wearing.
up, my print button up.
Oh. Da-na-na-na-na. Right, Ellispot? We know that that's not optimal framing for me. This is optimal framing for me. Oh, God.
It's Gale Whispered.
Hey everyone. Nice to see you.
No.
Yeah. There he is. Look at him.
See, I'm framed like
Filling that frame.
Yeah.
Like a-
There we go. Now we've got light side, dark side, with the seam.
Ah, there you go.
It's just like back during, good old lockdowns
Yep.
when we were separated by...
And no one
Good
could
ol'.
tell.
No.
It was not obvious at all.
That's right.
That was fine.
Meowth. That's
Meow.
that's the thing is I still have never watched Pokemon. I haven't played Pokemon, and yet there are elements of Pokemon that have just sunk into my consciousness.
John
And
is
one
a-
of those is Meowth. That's right.
I was about to say John is a Jigglypuff main. I know that's not true. It's not true. But you do definitely
I have played
play a
Jigglypuff.
mean Jigglypuff. I'll say that for real. Good.
Thank
Liz.
you.
Very good, actually.
Have played Jigglypuff.
Mm.
It's true.
I could what?
Kate could.
Could tell.
Oh, Kate could tell we were
Oh.
here. Yeah.
As a
Yeah,
separated player.
that's fair. I mean, that is fair.
Yeah, I couldn't look at John. And then I was like...
I like the implication that John couldn't tell we weren't in the same room, though. You know what I
John
mean?
never makes eye contact with us when he runs a game.
So this is a very fancy system of mirrors. We're like several rooms away.
I just stare into the void.
Just how I like it. Hey.
It's episode 8, season 2.
Ow. Already.
Means that we're almost getting to the halfway point of the season. Already.
I have a question.
What?
Episode 20s have a bit of a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that only season 1? Like, is this is this 208 or is this 2-8? Do you know what I mean?
What?
We'll just have to survive to
Bear with me.
episode 20 to find out.
I can't do
It'll
it,
be
man. I can't do
220.
it.
So with the extra 2, will it...
Is it 20
Season
squared?
1 up 20 wasn't that bad, was it?
We
just
see the Battle
the
of the House
attack
of Bells.
on the
Is
house.
that up 20?
Yeah.
It must have been.
Boom.
I only played 21.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm checking
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
what 120 was for Changeling.
We built it up enough, is what I'm saying. Hi, John.
ExalTwitch Nexus, episode 20. City on the Edge of Forever.
Yep. Great app. Great app.
It's like Requiem for a Dream, You see it, you never want to see it again.
Episode 20, Full Party.
Yeah.
Oh, Roof Stoof, good. Okay, fair.
Yeah, big oof.
Fair.
Changeling episode?
Changeling episode 20 was called Mystery Date.
That sounds
The
fabulous.
Motley head to the Kingdom of Apples to get help with their next mission.
And that sounds pleasant enough. We like the Kingdom of Apples. We're not playing the Kingdom of Apples today, though.
That's right.
Meowth.
Oh, John's gone full Pokemon, everyone. I'm not going to
Squirtle,
apologize. Squirtle.
Yeah, we just traveled to Home Fries. Oh yeah. And then we arrived at... Sorry.
The number of times I wrote home fries
Oh my
in
God.
that wiki is too many.
As opposed to home fires.
Correct, yeah.
That was also me.
Also, Passabikenuit and
Oh,
like
God.
so on and so forth. Just, anyway, good times.
What's wrong? What's hard about Passabikenuit?
Trying to find a
lot of
correct
letters.
version of it to copy paste.
Yasebakh.
Ooh, I like it most of the time.
Enniut.
Gale. Gale.
Oresta.
Bing bong.
Oh.
Higher.
Rest.
It would be.
It would be.
I am Groot.
I am.
Pyres.
Oh.
Clivian. Sion.
Oh.
I submitted an audition tape earlier this week, and my character was supposed to be eating an apple. We didn't have any apples, so I just ate half of a hamburger bun and thought of Flavian the whole time.
Yeah, just straight carbs. I remember that. It was very funny, actually. Just an apple is also straight carbs, but like, you know what I mean.
And roughage.
120 was not bad.
Oh,
So,
okay. Good.
Of what?
of Changeling.
Yeah. It's an exalted thing. It's not a changing thing.
I mean, there was the whole impending arranged marriage, but it,
Sure,
was,
well, I
it
mean,
wasn't announced and it
who cares?
wasn't resolved, so.
Yeah, it's fine.
Look,
What's up?
things in Changeling are bad when Scott's playing, and
Oh.
things in Exalted are bad when it's episode 20.
So Scott got
That's a
play of the
tragic
game.
figure, yo.
Yeah.
That's true. But game is good when I'm playing, right?
Game is good, yeah.
That was a question for the audience, John.
What?
It was also a question for you.
Ooh.
Namaguchi.
From the Journal of Five Paths, I abandoned my friends.
Oh
again.
no, it's happening again. As soon as I do anything bad in this game. Wait. I'm getting some vague memories of something I've done this season already, but
What?
anyway, I don't know.
Speaking of things that you've done this season, may I ask whether any of you have spent experience today? Trois, dos, ich.
Whoa. Yay!
Favorite child.
It's me. Yeah, so I bought a charm with my minor milestone that we earned last session. I bought something that I must have passed over because it feels very good to buy it. Distracting Patter Technique. I can commit a mote to give my allies lessened difficulty on stealth rolls. I can also
Hey!
commit an additional mote to add my performance to their stealth.
So you're so distracting that
That's correct.
that we
exactly.
can sneak. That's great.
Amazing.
I think it's
you
meant
so
to be like
much.
street magic,
It's
but like
it's
you know.
literally just like Pyres takes his shirt off and Gale Whispered is like do do do.
Hey,
Gale
everyone,
Good seems
look at
saying
this!
something.
Yeah, and like
Oh.
as he tosses his shirt, she like passes behind whatever the shirt is covering. from view. It's like passing the bowl of chips when someone's naked on like
I love
sitcom
that.
television.
That's so
Like
good.
yeah, primetime TV. Yeah.
And as the cloak falls
Every
to the
week.
ground, like I'm just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Damn, Gillet good. I'd apologize, but I'm not going to.
Yikes, that's awkward.
But it's here. It's bought.
Hooray!
You did it.
No, Liz. I did
You
it.
did it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we have that, the two of you are holding on to your experience, I assume.
Yes.
That's totally fine. You're allowed to do that. What you're not allowed to do, though, is get out of giving us a recap of what happened last session.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
It's cool because we had a good time last session. Last time on ExalTwitch Academy, the rest of the Hearth made their way to Oresta's family home, where in the night they were confronted by Juin, who was happy to know that they executed Leanne for the right reasons, and pledged her support to them.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Monster.
Having extracted an agreement of a tentative alliance, Juin departed. There was a cuddle puddle overnight, and the 5 of them, very important, went down for breakfast, where they had an unexpected guest arrive.
This unexpected guest was Seven Fingers, who confirmed that he is a member of House Excelsi, though he plans to defect, and he is the reason why a solar was snuck into the House of Bells 10 years ago. Gasp.
Knew
So-
about
Footnote,
Juin all
Oresta's
along.
Yeah, one.
Oh, yeah.
Oresta's super pissed.
Oh yeah. He was challenging, the whole notion of the wild hunt.
Patriarchy.
Hob.
No, fuck the patriarchy.
Yeah. No, like the immaculate philosophy.
Hob.
Conception, I was going to say. Sorry. Something very different. 5. How do we do? We did good, right?
Did quite well. And you got it in 3 sentences without adding like 9 semicolons.
That's all we have to do is like talk about it beforehand.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Ooh.
Syrup, but also something else, and I don't remember.
Cinnamon, I think.
Oh yeah.
I might be wrong.
That wasn't Vij who recommended it, though.
Oh.
It was Seven Fingers who recommended cinnamon.
Classic 7 Fingers.
I think Vij just invented pancakes, though.
Yeah.
Well, thinks he did. And we'll let him continue.
The Venturer small fry.
God
Bitches.
damn.
What a baller.
Paraphrased, but
Really? When's the last time you saw Venture?
Good point.
Just saying.
The recap, excellent work.
Mm.
Glad that it was relatively simple. We'll be able to move on, especially considering that there was a question that was asked just before the end of the session. But we can't play yet. And why can't we play yet, Elizabeth?
Why, John, we cannot play yet because we have not yet taken our blood oath. By that, I mean reviewed our safety rules and tools. So, we have these cards here, and they are here for our protection and safety and comfort and allowance of maximum fun. You, as the audience, don't have these cards, but you do have options, and I'll get to them in a minute. The green card is known as the play card, and that is basically us saying no matter what external appearances may appear to be, I am good to keep playing. I am enthusiastically consenting to the role playing that is happening right now. The yellow card is a pause card, and that is we need to take a second because I need to make the table aware of something. Once the yellow card is put down, we're cool to keep going. The red card is we need to stop play. We'll probably go to a BRB stream, and we will only start up again if and when everybody at the table is cool to do so. The use of these cards doesn't mean that anyone has done anything wrong, but it is something that we need to take seriously because that means that we can really expand our horizons as players and as friends. Now, audience, what do you have available to you? There's a few things you can do. You can whisper RPGClinic. That will go to John, and you can let him know you can let him know like how you're feeling about the things that are going on. We really do want to take your lines and veils into account as much as possible when possible. And then another thing that you can do is message a moderator. And finally, you can always leave chat for your own safety. We would be sad to see you go, but you have to prioritize your safety as much as we have to prioritize ours.
Thank you.
All over the place today.
Oh,
Thanks
that
for-
felt really
But I
effective.
got it done.
Oh, good.
From over here, I'm sure your brain was like, "Oh God, what are all the things?"
You need to look for somebody with a sword. Currently, that's Kung Fu Fenris. It's a safety wolf. It's not like a safety dance,
I was gonna say.
but awoo.
Awoo. Awoo. Everybody, look at your woo.
Ooh.
Ooh.
My woo.
Hello.
Don't forget that, folks. It is really important to us that you remain just as safe as we do. So
Yeah.
take Liz's kind words to heart. I shall do that
Someone
dance
knows
if
the
you-
safety dance.
Yeah.
You can leave your pack behind.
Very good, Critter. Very good. Oh, man.
Ruh-roh.
But if you don't fight the worm, then you're no friend of mine. We'll slice you open if we want to.
Wait.
What?
We've got razor claws and... anyway. Can you run? That's kind of up to you.
I mean, if
Shing.
if it's misused, it will go away.
We're ready.
Mm.
When I am confronted by a challenge to my preconceived notions, I know rationally that I want to maintain openness. And if somebody presents me evidence, I want to accept that evidence, and I want to be able to reconfigure my worldview based on the evidence that I have been provided that has been thoroughly vetted and tested. And yet, that's just not how convincing people works. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how enlightened you might feel. We don't react well to having our worldviews changed. We resist. It's the natural element that unites humanity. Once we have made a decision, we don't like going back on it. Now, it's not to say that we can't train ourselves to do so, and it's not to say that there aren't people out there who are capable and willing to discard what they have previously embraced as true in the overwhelming opposition of fact. But what about when that is about a person? All of a sudden the narrative changes. What you're not doing is changing the world, you're just changing about how you think, how you feel about one person. This has already happened to you several times in this game, several times in your gaming career. Dare say it is a trope that which I abuse with regularity. The idea that somebody is not who they seem. And yet it keeps happening. Because the world isn't normal like that. There are people with hidden agendas. And I wonder, is it going to be easy for you to make that change? To reconfigure your view? Or will you reject it? And is rejecting it maybe the right choice? You were speaking to Seven Fingers. Sitting at a breakfast table, actually, with these cakes that are flat and yet served with sweetness provided to you.
Pan roasted, if I recall correctly.
Oh yeah, Gale's mind was blown by the fact that there's flavor in the AM.
Oh, yeah. You were used to gruel, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, oatmeal and gruel, clear broth.
Jesus.
Do you remember the question that you had asked Seven Fingers just before we stopped last time?
I have it here.
Oh.
Oresta asked why Seven Fingers survived the House of Bel's attack.
She was mad and asking really mean questions.
Yay! Anger at breakfast.
So do you want to pull that question out again? You want to get back in that angry mindset? We can just make you mad.
Oh, that's okay.
Wait.
Just start poking her.
Okay, God, here we go. No, whoa, sorry. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Yes.
That, like,
Sorry, are we
I
good?
mean, I'm good, but, like, honestly,
Yeah. Done.
I've had people, like, corner me and poke me. Like,
No
don't
bueno.
do it.
Thank
Hey,
you,
the
thank you.
bot says you smell funny. Hey.
Now you're just my brother.
It's
Reprogram
become
that
sentient.
fucking bot.
God.
So, how is it that you survived the attack on the House of Bells when no other professor did?
I wasn't the only one. Was I?
You didn't stop to check.
Nah.
You didn't stop to defend the students, your colleagues, of at least a decade, it sounds.
No, I was ordered to leave.
You?
Yes?
Everyone?
No. Me. Just me.
Why?
We needed an escape plan. Who else was going to pilot the ship?
Because we were told we were heading off to training on board, but you knew there was an escape plan needed.
As soon as the House of Bells was surrounded, and we knew that there was going to be an attack imminent, Newvin told me to leave, get on board a ship, and wait.
And did any students ever show up?
Well, of course not. We didn't know that there was anyone waiting
Yes,
on a
but
ship
afterwards.
to get us out of there.
It wasn't for the students. It's for the faculty. Faculty who I assume would have taken students along with them.
Well, they didn't get that far.
Well, no.
Can I just check out of character for a second? Didn't Seven Fingers show up? Didn't he rejoin after the battle? Okay,
Okay.
cool. So he went and sat on a ship and then he came back,
All the way down to
You
Earth
read
and
it.
back.
I mean, according to him.
Okay.
according to him.
If you are being suspicious of this story, you have
You should be.
Have tools.
Right, too.
I don't know. All this flavor's messing with my head. All my intelligence is dropping.
So, yeah, well, then I'm going to ask. So, why'd you come back?
because by the time I was 2 hours outside the House of Bells, no one was coming after me. I kept stopping and checking. And when I realized I was alone, I came back. Found you.
Good alibi.
I'm sorry. Was I supposed to have an alibi for you?
We were under the impression, if nobody minds me saying this,
No.
we were under the impression that House Excelsi wanted to destroy the House of Bells. Whether or not that was your mission, you said it wasn't. I understand it.
No one said anything about House Excelsi wanting to destroy the House of Bells.
I gave a very pointed look to Siontel, and then to Flavienne just to cover my bases.
We were told to discover weaknesses in the House of Bells. We were never told to act on them.
Why would you discover weaknesses if there wasn't a plan to act on them? That's
Well, I don't
more-
know. What would you do if you were in the middle of trying to defend this house? This house that we're in now. Wouldn't you try to find out where it was weak before you were trying to shore it up?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you ask your master strategist?
He's deflecting. What's something that only we would know? A shared experience between us and you.
I'm the one who taught you how to resist the mind-altering effects of the Anathema.
Felt a lot of good that did.
Don't see any of you possessed now. He's visibly getting angry. His face is getting redder. He's growing an eighth finger.
Oh my god!
So you're here to answer a call, but you're abandoning the house. So why are you here?
He looks directly at Siontel.
I'm looking at Siontel to see what her reaction is to all of this.
She's got her arms crossed and she's staring back at Seven Fingers. She looks pissed.
Nice! I mean,
You've invited yourself into my home. You've dismissed my father. Why are you here?
Because I'm going to come here and see if the other Excelsi is all right. Look, For what she did for the students, I'm indebted. Don't get me wrong. But I also had to make sure that she was alright and that she hadn't started telling people about me.
Didn't know about you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm looking at Santel and seeing whether or not she feels like answering.
She's... If somebody is looking irate, it's her.
Is there anything you want to say?
I think it's convenient that you're showing up now and claiming that you're defecting. Especially after I left the symbol.
Do you want to say anything about what your revised mission was at the House of Bells?
I was told to expose the anathema that had come in.
I stare at Seven Fingers. That sounds an awful lot like acting on weaknesses to me.
Was trying to preempt.
What? You can just say it.
Was trying to preempt Viren. Thought that maybe if we could reveal that we had Anathema here, that they weren't as terrible as everyone was saying, that we wouldn't have to burn the school to the ground. Or if we couldn't, at least we could sacrifice Anathema so that the rest of the school could survive.
You were planning on proving that they weren't so bad. How were you going to do that?
I didn't have enough time.
You had 10 years.
Viren didn't show up 10 years ago.
No. But you placed a weakness at the House of Bells and then claimed you were given an order to find weaknesses at the House of Bells.
I don't recall Juin being a weakness. Did she ever do anything to you that made you somehow weak?
Do you know where we live?
There are scars on many students' backs.
It doesn't even matter whether she, in her own right, is a weakness or not. What matters is you placed an anathema at the House of Bells.
And I'll do it again.
And we are genuinely supposed to believe that you did not do that with the intention of destroying the school.
Not for one moment.
I don't understand why it took you 10 years to do something. I don't understand why it took you Viren's presence to finally decide that you were going to act against him.
Because I don't hate them. I don't hate them. But I love the House of Bells more. So when I saw that Viren was planning something, I decided that if I had to sacrifice something, I'd rather it be them than the entire school.
So how much of that story of your colleague and Garavel and all of that was a fabrication?
It was completely true, every word of it.
They fell to the anathema's control, but you were completely free of it. And
Because
yet
I
here
didn't
you are
hate
going
them.
to bat for them.
Because I didn't hate them.
Isn't that just falling to their influence in another word?
He slowly rises from the table. Wanting to speak to Cientel alone.
I'm also gonna.
Turn to her. Yep, go for it though.
No, I'm gonna slowly rise to meet his eyes. I would love for you. I'd love for you to be able to do that, Professor. But I think you need to explain to us why you don't feel like these anathema are a threat to the realm. Perhaps we will feel the same way. You don't know until you try. Now, are you going to tell us, Professor? Or do we need to have this conversation elsewhere? And I'm going to lay a hand on my sword.
Which one? Hope or abandon?
This feels hopeful. I'm going to go with hope.
Oh,
Very good, thank you. Yeah. I feel like I'm threatening. I feel like this is a threaten action.
It's a threatened action, so I'm going to let you roll it.
Okay.
His current resolve is... Well, actually, I know what it is. First,
Okay.
Are you acting against any of his intimacies?
No.
Or virtues?
It's a good question. And like, am I kind of using them in his...
So technically, in
yeah.
this game, now that I've said it,
Jimmy.
I actually have to pick. You don't have to declare.
Right. Because you
I
can
just
defend
figure
with
it
it,
out.
and I can... Yeah.
His current resolve is 5.
Okay.
Yeesh.
Well, okay, I'm going to use Cat's Puff Tail to gain 2 successes, because that feels good. And then let's party. Okay. Yeah.
A refresher.
There are beads of sweat that are appearing on his forehead, by the way.
Okay.
Don't know if that helps at all.
Thank you. All right.
But they look cool.
I assume it's quite a pleasant temperature in this home.
Very.
Are the pancakes spiced at all, or?
No.
I mean cinnamon, but that isn't sweat. Oh boy!
Woo!
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's a lot of... I mean, the Cat's Puff Tail is a little intense here, I guess. 7, 8, 9 successes.
Yes,
I'm gonna
Pyres.
start looking at other
Yes.
social influence stuff here. But we can...
What was your initial action trying to do? To threaten him to do what?
to come clean about his relationship towards Juin or the Anathema in general, maybe.
Cool.
Cool, he kills.
Want to drive a hard bargain?
Okay, yeah, drive a hard bargain with me. Let's go. What does he want to tell me instead?
He's not ready to reveal that information.
Oh.
But instead, you rolled 9 successes total. Instead, you'll get 4 successes on your next action. This scene.
To attack him, yeah. Exactly.
4 successes specifically to use against.
Okay.
Not like to make another coq au vin or... Unless.
I think technically he could.
I just want to be clear, I did not make a coq au vin, but anyway.
Oh, a vin au coq.
Pyres' specialty.
Wait,
Okay, all right. Dip.
So he is refusing your influence.
Okay.
You are getting 4 extra successes that translate into dice for the next action that you're going to take against him.
Yeah.
Or an action.
Yeah.
Right, and action.
bonus dice to another roll this scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I will take that.
He's not, I mean, like, he's not intimidated by you,
I mean,
but you have made an
That's fair.
accurate impact that you can tell that he is affected by you.
okay.
So don't feel like it's
No,
just
no.
bouncing off.
So with that silence, I imagine greeting me, I will then kind of motion towards Siontel.
Do you want to try that?
Do I want to try hurting you?
Is it how you greet everyone who's here, who's trying to be a friend to you?
You call this trying to be a friend. This is how you make friends.
Just
I find
Untrustworthy
arriving
ones.
and getting interrogated is not exactly how you treat friends either.
you're dropping a lot of very interesting information on us right now, Seven Fingers. Professor.
We have no professors left.
Pyres is like, whoa.
I'm in your home. And I understand that. I also know that pellets aren't exactly welcome in and around here. And he shoots a very deliberate look at Flavienne, who is like, I am the god.
Yeah, exactly.
You will not come to harm as a guest in my home.
But as a guest of your gardens.
Yeah. Now let's go outside. Yeah.
I need to speak to Siontel alone.
If she consents, we will leave.
Yeah. Don't go far.
We'll be just outside. I'm gonna pick up my plate. stick my fork and knife underneath my stack of pancakes, grab my coffee, and
Oh, I'm gonna do exactly
out
what
the-
Oresta did. That's so cool. This whole carrying
I'm
multiple
leaving my
things.
food. Because I'll be back. I don't know. I'm just.
please, Flavian,
No.
pick up his plate and take it.
Yeah, I'm leaving my food.
Flavian picks up her plate, adds more pancakes to her plate, adds more pancakes to Pyres' plate, picks up Pyres' plate.
Hooray! It feels good to laugh.
Yeah, I'll be like right outside the door.
Turning on your eavesdropping.
It's always active now. I just always have double nines to listening.
That's good. Feels really good, actually.
So do we take we tip out our coffee cups and put it up
Wow.
against?
And I guess you could waste good coffee.
Yeah. I'm not going to go far, but I'm going to find somewhere to sit down and just slump into a chair.
Okay. Do you want to try to eavesdrop on this?
Are you gonna be mad at me if I don't?
No, Gale is gonna look expectantly at Oresta.
Wow.
In character, she's just
Because my intention is to keep an ear out for anything that approaches a raised voice or a scuffle, but I'm not necessarily trying to hear the details of their conversation.
Okay.
But it's forbidden knowledge.
Damn it, Gale.
Well, you should have taken heightened hearing
Goddamn
and
censor.
allies.
Go ahead and roll.
I'm
I'm going to roll opposed to you.
it's an S,
What are
I
you looking at me
guess.
like that for?
Why are we making this awkward eye contact while you roll?
Athletics.
Can't
Your own job.
let it go.
I think I have another.
Watch.
Oh yeah, I have
I'll
a
check.
specialty in awareness.
I'm actually just going to feel by
No, I don't.
finger
Okay.
touch to see whether
I'm
or
just gonna
not.
do this.
I'm not breaking this eye contact for anything.
Sean's fingering the dice. Oh god.
5 successes.
Whoa.
Nice.
I acknowledge your 5. That's with your 9 agains?
Yes.
Thank you.
Shenanigans.
So you're standing outside. Flavian is just like... Do we buy it?
No.
I think he's telling us half-truths. It's what Ciantel said they were trained to do. Stick to the truth as much as possible, so the story is easier to tell.
He's panicked.
He is. You rattled him, Pyres. I think.
Don't know why he'd be panicked. If he came here, he should have a plan.
He needs something from us.
Nothing to give him.
He either needs something from us, or he's scared.
He needs to talk to Ciantel about certain things that we aren't going to discuss here. And because of that, my guess is she... I don't know. I mean, they have ties and responsibilities, and if he's truly giving his up, maybe he wants to convince her to go with him, or offload his responsibilities to her, or intercept her before anyone else can intercept her.
Throw her under the bus to save his own skin.
All kinds of factors. So,
I hand my plate of pancakes to Flavian as well.
She just quietly takes it.
And I inch closer to the door, getting kind of squirrely.
It's quiet. It's completely quiet.
We gotta go in.
knock, knock, knock. You okay in there?
Shit.
3, 2.
I'm opening the fucking door.
Yeah, so.
When you open the door, you can see Seven Fingers standing over Ciantel, who is laid out onto the ground, her hair spilling in all directions. And there is the smell, like the copper and iron smell, of blood and sulfur. He turns his head around and he looks at the four of you as you come in.
I would like to summon
You can
Soaring Eye from elsewhere.
just let me finish this and then
Yeah.
you can.
We're
take
ready
action.
to take action.
All right.
You can also see that he has a stance, a martial arts stance, standing at you, and he is holding a fire wand in one of his hands.
What
Okay.
a turd. I say in character.
Are we?
Now, if you want to take actions,
Yeah.
you can.
This is probably going to be a joint battle because I'm crossing straight at him and I'm coming for him.
You're just coming.
Yeah, I'm up over. My goodness.
Sorry.
I'm up over the table. I'm trying to, pin him against the wall. I mean, no time to like go around and pincer maneuver or whatever.
Flavienne is equally, like, if you two are moving, she is moving to take a flanking position to surround him. Also making sure that if one of you aren't, she is directly between Gale Whispered and Seven Fingers.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
And you are summoning
Soaring Eye.
from elsewhere?
Yep. I realize I was probably supposed to have a moat committed the entire time it was in elsewhere? Or is it a spend?
It's committed.
Okay.
If it's in elsewhere, it's committed.
So it was. Oh, sorry. It was committed, and now that it's out,
you get the moat back.
Immediately? or
I'm going to double check that turn because I've got it on my short list.
I have it somewhere too.
Because I think it costs 1 to summon it from elsewhere is what I have as my note.
okay.
So let me just check that 192.
Do you know what it's called?
192 Arsenal Summoning Gesture.
Let's get ready to rumble. Or not. Only.
1 mote to summon it.
Yes,
That's a
uncommitting a
short
moat makes you gain the moat back right away.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's other systems where if you uncommit a moat, you still have to like wait the required time. Or maybe I'm misremembering.
I mean, it's been.
Let's
Arsenal
kick some
summoning
ass.
gesture, very specifically. You may dissolve your weapon in an embodiment of your aspect's element, and when you recall the weapon, you may do so from any embodiment of her element within medium range, gaining a power boost equal to your essence. So if you pull that from air, you can do it that way.
Would like-
And it spend a mote to banish it, spend a mote to summon it.
Great,
So it's
okay.
not a commit.
Okay, cool. So I'm
Okay,
spending
so
a
then
moat.
you do have to spend a moat.
Great, that's what I'm doing.
So your animal will go up by 1.
And your power goes up by 2.
Oh, power goes up by 2.
1, 2.
As long as you can describe it coming out of the air for you.
Burst out of a pancake.
Yeah, so through an open window, a sudden gust of air pours in and winds itself into a circle that I just reach out and grab.
Nice.
Exactly, critter.
Just take a pancake, go like this, and it becomes soaring eye.
It's right side.
Imagine if your element was pancake.
Oh my god.
Like you could make anything, but it had to be out
Oh,
of
so
pancakes.
you're the chosen of pancakes.
Delicious.
All right.
My name is Howard.
You ready?
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Flavienne is actually also here, so I should make sure that she is available to be seen.
Yeah, why hasn't he said class is in session?
Oh, fuck.
I guess we can steal it now.
Yeah, I guess.
Good
You just
thought.
got schooled, professor.
Oh, shoot.
I shouldn't be overconfident. I feel
That's
like I'm
amazing.
about to take.
Oh
like,
yeah, we're
10
about to
lethal
be
damage.
fucking
I
killed.
don't have that many health levels.
It's not too late. As you're running towards him, he just lifts one hand. Don't be foolish. And I assume that this is happening?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Roll join
Up and
battle,
over
please.
the table.
Right.
I'm gonna do athletics. I feel like here because I'm
You can always choose to have this be the roll that benefits from your 4 dice, but
my guy.
it does not have to.
Ooh.
I think I'll keep it for
Attribute
my
ability.
attack.
Okay.
But that's fair.
And it's plus your combat ability this time, or is it plus?
It's
I think you choose your ability.
yeah, it's like any ability where I'm like, that's why I don't have it written down.
Yes,
Ah.
it's you choose what would be appropriate for you to join battle. with.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Do we have to tell you?
No.
This is my first combat in Essence.
Whoa! Wait, really?
So apologies in advance.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I'll just
And we don't
hold your
add
success.
anything,
No.
right? Okay, thank you. Get ready to be the person whose work I'm looking at. during the
Great.
test.
Yeah, that's gonna be great
Yeah.
for you.
Ready?
Yeah. Whoa!
7.
With 7 means that you get to choose to act first, at which point then you get to choose to
Choose who goes next.
choose who goes next.
So how far am I from him?
Well, I assume that you are rushing him,
Yeah, probably.
so
So
you
I'll
can
just
you
complete a
can
rush.
close to him.
1 range and attack with plus 3 dice. I will do that.
Hey, thanks, Kung Fu Fenris.
So yeah, seeing that he's got her splayed out, smelling blood.
She is absolutely unconscious.
We don't see visible wounds, though, right? We just smell blood.
Well, I mean, she's on the ground. Maybe she has wounds, but you
I
can't
have to
see
go
them.
and look at
Okay.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. So Oresta's gonna charge right through the tables, just knocking them to left and right as she just makes her way, regardless of any obstacles, barreling straight towards him, planning to grab him by the front of his shirt, and punch him in the solar plexus.
Damn.
With the intention of probably enacting a knockback or knockdown gambit. If I can do that with a...
Sure. As you do so, you see that he takes his fire wand and almost as if he's like bringing it up like a parade rifle, smacking your fist away and then moving with the fluidity of water.
That costs
one
power,
side.
so it will not be a gambit.
Okay.
Withering attack. Yeah.
It's a withering attack that you're making.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. Punch that solar.
Punch that solar plexus.
I will spend a mote to add dice.
Okay. His defense is currently 6.
Balls. It's the Angel of Nexus.
It's the Angel of Nexus.
Balls.
7 successes, so that's 1 threshold.
Yep.
Okay.
Shoot. So defense 1. And so my withering extra successes to power.
Here. You sort out
Yep.
the rest of what you need.
Yeah.
Right, because you don't need to roll damage with a withering. Is that it?
That's what I'm
Because your
trying to
threshold
see. Yeah, it's just my
successes.
threshold, so I just gain 1. That's it, right? There's no damage.
Because it's been a while.
Been a hot minute.
Yeah.
So specifically, when you are attacking,
Yeah.
this is how it works.
Yeah.
You attack.
Yeah.
You are up against the defense, either parry or evasion. In
Yep.
this case, he used a parry against
Yeah.
you. And then, what happens at that point? So, withering attacks, right? So you're going to gain 1 power for meeting the target's defense, and the extra successes are converted directly to power. And then you will. A target's defense may never reduce a withering attack's successes below the character's overwhelm value on her weapon.
Yeah.
So, what is the overwhelm value on your weapon?
My fists are 1, but I also have 2 accuracy on my fists, so I think I need to reroll because I didn't include that.
Okay.
I believe those are
'cause-
successes.
yeah, are
right?
they-
I made all of these cheat sheets like 2 months ago, and I forgot
Gilad
what
Good is
all
saying
my
that
notes
your
mean.
accuracy is auto successes. So
Yes.
does that mean
Oh,
you don't even
so then
roll
I
your-
just
just
add
add
2.
two.
Okay, so then I have 3 successes.
So then you
Three
gain
power.
3 power.
Great.
I interrupt your initiative order.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
No, go for it.
he reaches up into the sky and fire blooms from not just his fire wand, but from his own hand, reaching out and coating the ceiling, sending rain of fire and steam down around him. What we have here,
Yeah.
for those of you, this is known as a Burning Judgment Halo.
Okay. Bad.
So, oh no, I can't do it. Haha! Never mind.
Nope.
I interrupt instead.
He does
so
something cool anyway.
as Oresta comes forward, he is going to just let his weapon down, point it directly at Oresta, and he's going to pull the trigger, letting his fire wand spray out.
I can't put myself between.
Seeing the
Yeah,
fire
me neither,
wand come down, Oresta is going to try to roll open her shoulders so that it goes past her. We'll see whether or not that succeeds.
At the next pause while math is getting sorted and stuff, could I get a quick description of the room?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a large table with chairs surrounding it that is close to one end. The room is quite large. It's meant to be a kind of like a reception dining hall area, and there is a large table with chairs, curtains hanging around the back, which have been pulled aside in order to let light come in through the windows. There are exits towards the kitchen. There are exits towards the grand staircase, which then goes up into the balcony surrounding, which is where your rooms were.
Okay.
And then the exit that leads outside, which is where you were.
Okay.
So my
Thank you.
defense is 5.
Fence is 5. 5. I can double 9's on damage. Okay. It's good to know. Okay. So he is going to gain 3 power.
Son of a bitch.
Onto you.
Yeah.
Who did you choose to take up the next
Oh
action?
yeah, that's a good idea. I have a action. I'm also sort of in the midst of like getting to him as well. So I'm gonna activate Fire Dragon form. In doing so, I'm just like shouting in his face. So it's just like I think a roar just comes out as I leap up onto where the table used to be, push off the edge of it now spilled, and I'm gonna try to get my footing to stand on his fire wand so that I can take Hope and Abandon and crash down. It's a Withering Attack.
Okay. Good stunt.
And thank you. I will activate Fire Dragon form. Pew.
So you are activating Fire Dragon form, and that is your action for the round?
It's on step 1 of an attack.
Okay.
So
then
it will be part of my Withering Attack.
Then that helps.
Can't do anything else, unfortunately, charm-wise, but here we go.
However, this does mean now if you make any Withering attacks in your turn, decrease the target's hardness by another 1 after all attacks resolve. And when an Exalt successfully defends against decisive attacks, the attacker loses 1 power.
So I guess that's my hope, is that maybe he'll, we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm going to apply... No, I'm going to do that for damage. Never mind. Holding off on those successes until I've built a bit of power, hopefully. So 2.
Defense now is 5.
Okay. So I just get 5 I get 5 successes. I have an overwhelming value of 4 on my die cliffs.
Gain 4 power.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Also, if you spent any motes, that should be reflected,
Done. Yeah.
which it should be. I interrupt your initiative order.
What? You...
I should point out that he is now in anima flux. So you start noticing that that's why there is steam
Okay.
coming down from the air, as his fire wand is quite hot, but he is putting eddies of water around. Having missed an attack on you and having you try to come down and take it, he's just going to try to bring the butt of his fire wand right up against you. pushing you back and then quickly rotating it down, slamming another cartridge into the fire wand, and then letting it loose.
Cool. I'm going to reflexively defend other, which will interrupt my next turn. Using a Loyal Guardian approach.
Okay.
So
I'm out of half seconds to give.
no, I think I have to commit a moat for the scene. Never mind.
What?
I haven't. It's like
It's part of like Earth.
commit a moat for the scene, then you can do it.
Yeah, you can do that. Does
Oh,
it say
so I
which
can?
step you have to do? Hold on. What's the charm called?
Loyal Guardian approach, page 195.
So many pages.
That is fair.
That's why I like typed the page numbers into the PDF for myself.
Me too.
Yeah, I've got it here. Page 195.
Yeah, so this may be used in response to an attack on step 2 at the top of 196.
Yep. And so you hit step 2 and you use this.
Because I'm about to declare my defense, but instead you're gonna jump in there. Yeah.
So I'm going to spend 2 motes to ignore all penalties to defense. Would I have any penalties to defense?
Yes, because he's attacked you once. So.
Great. So then, yes, I will spend 2 motes.
Okay. Yes, animas can be faked, although it's a lot less likely to be faked than...
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Your defense is?
5.
2, 3.
I guess there had to be some dragon-blooded at the House of Bells.
Okay.
I'm also a sidereal. Oh my god, I'm a
fuck you.
Gatirian.
He does successfully get through your defense, but that's overwhelming. So the flame bursts out, and instead of slamming directly into Pyres, you basically just shoulder him out of... What do you do to get in the way?
I would have... Having moved out of the way, I would then use that momentum to step forward and try to get between and place myself between him and Pyres.
The heat of the fire wand is incredible in your hands, but I mean, you're Oresta. And instead, the fire wand moves up, blasting flame along, and you can see the tops of the curtains in this room have caught a light. Who do you choose to go next?
Gale.
Thanks.
Yes, I do. You're right.
Okay, so taking Soaring Eye, I would like to aim and fire, because I can do that. I'm just not moving. I'm aiming at... I sort of envision that there's like a giant like pewter vase on the mantle of this room, which I'd like to aim for and ricochet it into his head. I'm trying to knock him out. So I'm aiming for him, but I'm actually trying to knock him out with my thing. That's cool.
What is this a...
This is a withering.
This is a withering attack. Okay.
Yes.
His defense is now 4.
Okay, so because I aimed, I get 3 extra dice. Do I get a stunt?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Up. And I get 3 bonus successes because of my accuracy. All right. Here we go.
Excuse me.
That's 10 successes.
Fuck me. Okay, so that's 6 power that you'll gain from that.
Oh, I guess... Well, 13 if I add my 3. Did I do this right? I hope I did. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's 4
please do.
plus 4, so that's my pool, plus my 2 stunt, plus my 3 from my aim.
Yeah, plus 3
Plus
dice,
thr-
right? From aiming?
Yeah, plus 3 dice from
Yep.
aiming, plus 3 auto successes for my accuracy, so it's 13.
Okay. So then 9 power, you're
Should have
up to
used the
10.
stunt to buy a new charm. Oh well.
So you're
I'm
up to 10.
Thank you.
But like
I
what?
think that's our first 10 power.
Yay!
Hey!
We've gotten one fucking shot.
Overkill. Overkill.
Really we'll talk about it.
Well, I assume that
like
she
hours
rolled
later.
really well.
Yeah. Oh no, for
I
sure.
did.
There's a lot of zeros.
Cool. I interrupt your initiative order.
Classic.
Now,
Classic.
when he sees the fire wand up to the sky, he just reaches up and catches some of the fire that's still going off of his fire wand and then flings it back up to the sky. Now we'll have a burning halo.
Okay.
So, for this is something that's going to matter over the next 3 rounds. So it's going to start this round and then keep moving on. So pay close attention to the following. This is a Burning Judgment Halo. So there is now a bonfire centered around him and it's extending out to short range, so that's all of you.
Right.
This bonfire is an environmental hazard that deals 3 damage per round and has difficulty equal to the Exalt's force and has a duration of 3 rounds. The bonfire doesn't harm the Exalt or interferes with the Exalt's visibility, but counts as concealment for attacks targeting the Exalt, which will matter for you.
Okay.
Now he's considered concealed. So, how this works, this is environmental damage, which I believe is new for us in this particular situation. So, that is...
And Gilligud has also pointed out I might be able to give a power to someone else.
Yes, you can give the power to someone else.
Let's give it to Oresta, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the interval is each round. At each interval, the effect deals this damage rating and damage to the exposed characters, ignoring soak, but characters can mitigate the damage with an appropriate attribute plus ability roll against the effect's difficulty. Success on the resistance roll subtracts 1 incoming damage, and extra successes reduce the damage on a 1-to-1 basis.
Okay.
So, this is going to be, my declaration is, this is going to be a fortitude, and, which is it going to be here?
Yeah.
We're going to say that this will be a, I still don't have a sheet. Why don't I have a sheet?
On
We'll get you
this
Athletics.
page, on the one that starts with warfare, there's ability special uses that lists them all.
I don't think I have that.
You have the 3-pager? You have the 3-pager stapled together?
Okay, so then the page...
At the top it says
Okay, here we
warfare abilities.
Okay, so I'm going to say that this is a fortitude and... this is going to be fortitude and awareness to know where the fire is falling, to get out of the way of the jets. So you will each roll fortitude and awareness now,
Okay.
and your difficulty is 5.
Are we allowed to stunt this? Or is this a
Yes, you can stunt it.
non-stuntable? Okay, so Gale's gonna leap up onto a chair. 1 foot on the back and 1 foot on the seat.
Okay.
Pyres is very used to feeling the effects of flame and fire, so he's going to have a good sense of where those gouts are in the room.
Oresta is going to brace herself, knocking one of the tables to flip up so that it's at least covering her back.
Okay.
I'm going to bank that stunt.
Yes.
6.
Okay. So you will take 1 damage.
I did not make the success threshold.
You will take 3 damage.
This
Hey.
is...
Got 5, so I met it.
So you will reduce it by 1. You'll take 2 damage.
Great.
I thought I could feel the fire! It hurts.
Liz, your last remaining target that you can add is Flavienne for this round.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
your only other ally that's still there.
I would love to do that.
Flavienne is going to take an action. She's going to grit her teeth, and she's just going to say, the doll, Palaps Excelsi, it doesn't matter. And she's going to take her her fists, as she doesn't have her tiger claws on her, sadly. And she's just going to rapidly let loose with a series of punches towards his head.
Punch his head.
Punch his head.
That's a terrible fucking roll.
Oh!
But
Okay.
overwhelming.
Okay.
So it's okay. And Seven Fingers actually spent 2 power to let loose the halo. Which means now Seven Fingers has his next action. In looking at the 4 of you, he just tuts, and once again, with that same extremely rapid pulling a cartridge out, slamming it into the fire wand. This time, he lets it loose underneath him, and he's pulling the trigger, aiming, like holding the rifle underneath him and pulling, aiming at Siantel on the ground.
So I believe this allows me to keep taking them, and I think it's regular defend other that would take up your next turn.
I believe that is correct.
So then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to jump to her defense.
Dude, she's unconscious.
So I'm applying my defense to them until my next round.
Okay, so are you going to spend another moat to reduce your defense penalty?
Do I have a defense penalty?
You do now
currently?
because you've been attacked this round.
Okay,
twice.
great. Then I will spend another moat.
Yeah, we haven't even finished our. Well, we're about to finish our round, I think.
I think
Maybe even the
He
combat.
is not an insignificant opponent.
Well, that's fair.
5?
I mean, that is fair.
Okay, well, you'll gain overwhelming. Round. Regain. He is now close to bonfire in terms of his anima. You get to choose who goes first.
Gilladgood has just put a
Yep.
reminder for you, Kate.
Defend other. My weapon defense should get added to my defense. Oh. I mean, I'm using my fists, so it's 1. Yeah, so I'm at 5. That's
Yeah,
correct.
He's still only ever hit the overwhelm, so for now it's
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
will make more of a difference when it's something like a decisive attack.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, don't forget the defense on the
Yeah.
decisive attack. Don't get burned if you don't have to. So this is round. I will ask all of you. You are once again in the area of a halo of judgment. It's now painful to look at him. Not like painful to the point where it'll actually do damage, but he is absolutely a light on fire. And it's the heat and the jets are searing off of him.
Okay.
This is still fortitude awareness.
This round, why not? Now that you've brought it up,
Oh.
it's still going to be fortitude.
Okay.
It's still absolutely fortitude. But this one is going to be fortitude and physique. To see if you can just stand against the blasts. I realize in doing this that I've given Oresta a huge advantage. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry, not sorry.
is there any amount of like molten anything falling with the fire? Or is it just straight fire?
Well, there are elements of like the room that are starting to burn.
Perfect. So then, using my bank stunt, what I'd like to do is I'd like to punch one of these pieces as it falls down and summon my Tetsubo by purchasing arsenal summoning gesture with my bank stunt.
What, midstream? It's actually kind of amazing. So good.
So yeah.
Just like out of the air. Well, not out of the
Hey,
air.
look!
like, out of
It's
the-
one of the things you can do. You can
That is
purchase
so ridiculous.
purchase a thing. You can only do it once per session. But
I
yeah.
wish I'd done with my absurd success. Have it?
Okay, you pull
But
that out. The rest of your rolls?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tilt backwards on the chair and use it as cover.
Okay.
And I'm flattening myself against the wall to try to get out of the line.
5 successes.
yeah, so I
That
take
means you'll take 2.
This isn't gonna go well at all.
It's 5.
2.
Okay, 4 successes.
3.
Things are not looking good here.
I should point out that Flavienne and Ciantel are also being affected by this, and Ciantel cannot dodge it.
Wait a second.
Who's
it
acting first?
says that my defense applies to them for the remainder of the round.
This isn't defense. This is literally just burning in the heat of being in his presence.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. Does anyone have a clear, decisive thing they want to do as I try to figure out?
Yes.
Try
As
to
Pyres
decapitate
goes
it.
someone,
first.
well, as someone who's actually quite injured, I'm
Apologies to your father, mate.
If you gave the slightest fuck, you wouldn't have done any of this.
You attacked me, mate.
I just like gesture at Ciantel.
I was just cleaning house.
I would like to aim at his hand with the fingers missing and aim to sever his entire hand with a decisive attack.
Yes!
Let's bring it to 5,
there
bitch.
are points of stunts, but like 2 point stunt at least, if not 3.
Here's me being like, fuck this guy. Liz is like, I sever his hand.
I'd like to sever his hand, please.
That is insane.
Oh, God.
He's got like concealment now because
Yeah.
he's smoking shit. I don't know.
I don't know.
So I actually have to check what concealment
yeah.
specifically does. So
You
I'm
definitely have
just
enough
calling that
power,
up
and you
now.
can spend all of it if you want.
Yeah.
So
I'm
concealment
gonna do
imposes a 2 dice penalty to attacks targeting a character within it.
that. Sorry, 2 dice
2
penalty.
dice
Okay.
penalty. So
cool.
so your aim is worth 3 dice.
Yep.
Now take 2 away.
Okay. Great.
I'll remind you that you have a -1 wound penalty.
Yes. I'm gonna take that one out. And then my stunty poo.
Oh yeah, you'll get your stun.
Stunty poo. Okay. I believe I did my math correctly.
You spent your power and stuff for a you said a decisive attack,
Right. So for that,
Mm.
I just declare how much I want to spend
Yes, in advance.
in advance. I would like to spend. I'm really mad, so I want to spend 7.
Yeah.
That'll overcome his hardness. Also, his hardness has been weakened because of Pyres.
And does that do anything else to my roll?
The amount of power that you are spending,
Yeah.
if you succeed in your attack, so you're not adding your power to the attack. When you succeed, you get your threshold successes and the power you spent
Okay.
as damage roll.
Okay.
I may recommend something. If you don't
Yeah.
have anything else to spend power on,
Spend all of it.
you might as well because there's only one opponent here.
I'm gonna spend 10 power, please.
Yeah.
And now here's where I bring in the 7 finger clones.
Of course, right? Oh shit!
Fooled you!
Oh, you thought it was about
There's
my
6, 7 fingers and 1 5 fingers now. Let's
Oh,
do
shit.
this.
Still a lot of fingers.
Yeah, too many to be honest.
Yes, he still has 10 fingers.
How many things? How many things?
How many fingers?
Oh no! That's not enough. That's only 2.
Okay, so you lose 1 power,
Okay.
and you'll have to try again
I intend to.
afterwards. I interrupt your initiative order. 7 fingers just shakes his head at what you said, and you know what?
Even that wouldn't have overcome it, I think. I forgot to add it.
He's kind of pissed. He's going to make a
Sorry, I do need to pause. I did forget to add my weapon accuracy.
Okay, what
But-
is your weapon accuracy?
Because that was only... I only got...
You
what
said
did I-
2 is what
I
you said.
So that would have been 5.
No, his defense is 6.
Thanks, Gilgood.
Uh,
Ugh,
But good to
but it
think.
was a good try.
Yeah,
I'm never going to remember accuracy. That's like...
I'm gonna grab a.
Okay. With his weapon, he grits his teeth, and this time he looks directly at Pyres, and he just brings the fire wand back down, once again launching out, smashing that that cartridge in, comes back, hope fades. And this is a decisive attack towards Pyres.
I don't have a witty retort, so I'm. Pyres is actually pretty messed up by this combination of fire and steam. Is actually has been doing a lot.
You're pretty hurt.
Very.
Then I'm gonna reflexively defend other. Pew pew pew.
I was
pew.
gonna. Yeah. I mean, what I'm doing is bringing my swords up to defend myself. But it sounds
No!
yeah, basically.
My defense is 4.
Defense is 4.
This feels.
Oh my god.
Don't defend me. I'm not worth it.
Well, all right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. It is going to hit. What is your soak?
My soak is 6.
6. Okay. I heard my soak is sex, and I'm like,
Six.
so it must be
What?
pretty good.
6. Haven't had a chance to activate my Earth Dragon form yet. Otherwise,
Not yet. Whoa! That's a lot of soak.
All right. So,
My God.
my God, Mr. Heck, get some help. Right away, Mr. Garrison.
how much damage? Oh, you haven't rolled yet.
Yeah. So for your soak,
Mhm.
specifically, it's 6.
Yes.
So 1, 2.
What else can I do to this fucker?
It's a great question, Liz.
Okay. I have 9 again on this attack, on this damage roll.
Yeah, you don't get hurt.
You don't get hurt.
I really hope she doesn't get hurt.
Famous last words.
I mean, it'd be really sad.
It would be.
Because my defense, because you attack against my defense, which is only 4.
Yes.
And then you roll the damage, and then I'd remove the successes from your... My soak removes the successes.
Successes. It doesn't remove dice. It
Correct.
removes successes.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I have to re-roll.
Yep.
My bag.
Yeah.
You'll never know how good that roll was.
Oh!
All ones.
I mean,
And now it's going to be all 10.
yeah, I was going to say.
I need to pee, but I can't walk away.
I can take a break for my funeral. Don't worry
Your
about it.
soak is
I'm gonna talk there.
take 4 damage.
Curlis.
This doesn't
I would go now.
good.
If you need to go, I would go now.
Why? Because someone's about to die?
No.
No, it's just...
I would just say you've acted.
yeah.
Yep.
Don't let anyone die. Good advice.
So I would like to launch a knockdown gambit against Seven Fingers, the only person worth targeting.
That guy.
Using my newly summoned Tetsubo, and I'm going to just sweep his legs, hoping to, like, shatter his shins if I can really handle it, but at least knock him on his butt. Knockdown gambits only cost me 2 because I'm cool.
Yep. His defense is now 5.
Yeah. That is me enacting Stillness of Stone Strike, which is a moat. I am low on moats. So his defense is 5. Great. So that is 4.
That fire, vengeance halo. I don't know what you said. I'm so sorry. Something
Burning Judgment Halo?
Burning Judgment Halo. That is some bullshit.
That is some bullshit.
It's not actually like it's actually feels good. I just I've taken a surprising amount of damage this game so
Considering you're immune to fire, that really sucks.
far. Right?
1, 2, 3.
Oh my
I think
god.
it'd be worse if you were a solar.
So 3 successes.
And it extends out to long range.
Secret solar. I'm not
Speaking of, Joanne!
seriously.
Oh.
No, Veej!
Veej is currently not under the effects. It's short range. It's this room only.
Oh, good.
Although this room is now thoroughly on fire.
This is decisive, right? Okay.
Room is on fire.
That is correct, and a fail.
Oh,
Yeah,
plus
we
my
have
power spent,
terrible
so
Yes.
The buildings we're in.
5 successes.
So if you rolled 5 successes on the initial roll,
Sorry. No, I rolled 3 successes on my dice.
okay. What's your weapon accuracy?
2.
So that equals 5. That was his
5.
defense. So you succeed in hitting him.
Okay, that's
Now-
where that goes. Yeah.
You take your power that you wagered. Although this was a gambit, right?
Yeah, this was a gambit. So,
So this isn't a damage roll.
yeah, I have to pass the defense, and then the gambit happens.
So what's the gambit?
It was a knockdown, but I can spend another...
A lot of moats.
It didn't succeed with at least 2 successes, did it? 2 extra successes?
Two extra successes? No.
Great, then no, he's just knocked down.
Okay, but that's significant.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've smashed him into the ground. He's now lying next to Siontel,
Yeah.
whose hair is smoldering at this point. You can smell... it smells an awful lot like the glade
Can I
as it burned. That's what
try?
happens when a wood aspect burns.
That's cold.
You know?
That's cold.
I've tried to knock him down on top of her so that he would partially shelter her.
He's the one who's emanating the fire.
Oh, never mind. Not that.
So no.
I thought it was the sphere above.
that's him activating the.
Oh, that was like the
effect.
stunt, but he's
Yeah.
the source? Okay.
Yeah, he's
Then
the
no,
horrible.
not that.
Okay. So his action. I interrupt your initiative order. He's on the ground. I'm not going to have him stand up at this point. He only is going to take an action, so he's going to take an action from down here, and he is going to. Oh fuck! He has no power left.
You have no power here.
Power here. Cool. He'll attack you.
No! Hey, here's a question, John.
Yes.
It doesn't really pertain to this, but my evocation, I realized, when an important ally falls or is otherwise removed from combat, does Ciantel count in this situation?
She was fallen before you.
Before we
actually
rolled?
joined
Okay,
combat.
cool.
I'll be falling soon.
Don't let me forget this, bud. We might need it.
Problem.
We may need it where we're
Cold
going.
as fucking ice.
I would like to leap from my cover at the chair to the curtains to like swing away from whatever he's about to do.
Okay. I like it. The stunt preempting the
Yeah,
action.
I was gonna say. He just goes, huh? And you're like, it's funny.
Bye-bye.
I mean, it makes sense.
Mm.
He
Oh, God.
pulls yet another cartridge out, slamming it into the fire wand, and then by kicking Ciantel away to provide himself with a base with which to aim, he goes and then attempts to slam a gout of flame directly towards you.
So I want to leap, grab, swing.
Bada. What's your defense?
Okay, so it's -1 because I'm at a -1. So if I stunted, does that add me 2?
Adds you 1.
Okay,
One
so I am at 4.
Cool.
There's nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So you managed to stay just ahead of the flame, but it was quite a successful attack. He gains 5 power.
Son of a bitch.
And now whose action is it?
I'm gonna take the next action.
Yeah?
I mean, unless we want to go with Flavienne.
Oh, right, because we have like 4 slots, but it doesn't matter. You could take all of the slots.
No.
No,
You-
so
each person
you
acts
acted
one round.
first.
Did I go already this round?
I haven't acted this round.
I called around.
When? How long ago did you call around?
You called round.
Because,
Did I
hey,
go first? Because I had
There was a round called Scott acted, Liz acted.
Liz
was
acted
free to go
first.
to the bathroom.
Liz acted first
Right.
in this round. She made the decisive attack.
That's true. You haven't done anything yet then.
Yeah, what?
Kate purchased a charm. Was that during Oresta's turn?
So technically,
No,
Pyres
that
has
was-
to act and Flavienne has to act this round.
Yeah.
I thought Scott acted first for some reason.
No.
Okay.
First round.
Scott
I
got
acted first.
Scott got attacked.
Scott got hurt.
Yes.
Hurt, so
Okay.
you defended him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I just thought you were going to act first, and then I guess
No, I
that
didn't,
changed.
yeah.
Okay.
No, Gale Whispered.
Yeah, because I've only regained once, so this is literally our second
This
round.
is the second
still?
round.
Okay, great.
Feels
We're
like
good.
Wild day. Yeah.
Been
Yeah.
going on a million years, and we're all
Like,
like
oh,
limping
sorry,
from
Scott.
various.
No, not. I mean, not at all. Because that said, like, wound penalties and stuff. I'm going to try to, now that he's kicked Flavienne
He's on the
away
ground.
slightly.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to try to grab
Ciantel,
sorry, and get her out of the room, away from this burning vengeance halo.
How are you doing that?
I'm going to. I mean, I'm pressed up against the wall, trying to avoid fire. I'm going to just.
Love lifts us up. Where
I'm going
we
to
belong. Yeet.
tear part of my shirt off to cover my mouth, and then slide onto the ground, scoop her up, and take off across the burning coals.
So you are running out of the room.
Yeah, with her, if I can.
Okay. He's prone. He can't stop you.
Okay.
I'll let this happen. But you are removing yourself from the fight?
Oh no, that would be a permanent thing. If I use my evocation, there's
You won't be able to come back if you say so, but that means that Gale Whispered can use her evocation.
I don't feel good.
I am at no risk, no reward. I'm definitely going to get knocked down if I stay here. That doesn't mean I shouldn't.
But then I would still
Oh.
get my evocation. So
Can I? Okay. John,
Yes.
can I take a Withering Attack? Can I essentially do the same thing where I sort of slide on the ground towards him and attempt to push the Untel further away? But my actual...
Further away isn't going to do anything. If you're in the room, you're going to
you're in
attacked.
the short range. Okay. Well, I mean, it's just going to be... Okay, well...
You basically have to use your movement action to move 2 bands.
Right, to get all the way out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Just want to kick this guy's ass more than anything.
I'm going to let Flavienne act.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Flavienne is going to pick up Pyres and beat him out of the room.
Whee!
Flavienne is going to run up Oresta's back. Just 1, 2, and then she's going to pose just right at the top of her shoulders, lift up, and then she's just going to bring her elbow directly down onto
Oh, shit.
onto Seven Fingers now that he's on the ground.
I mean, yeah.
That's our bun, babe.
Yeah.
We're going
Fully carved
Are
up.
we going with Bun Babe, by the way?
Yeah, why
That
not?
is a much better roll.
Yeah.
You shout bread types.
Baguette focaccia.
Oh no, she doesn't have to roll again. Flavienne, where are you? Here you are. Okay.
Good.
Pyres, your initiative is not interrupted.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, like, I'm really torn. I'm still really torn, but I'm gonna take.
You need to make a choice.
I do need to make a choice. I have 4 power. Can I ask what his hardness is? I.e., could I spend it to make a decisive attack?
His hardness currently, because of your effect, is now at 4. So you can make that attack at him.
Yes. I'm going to yeah, good. I'm going to hold my swords like out into the gouts of flame so that they get kind of coated and hot and shiny.
Coated and hot and shiny.
As is my chest. It's a little oily in here. I don't know. Maybe some of the olive oil from
The
the
syrup just
so sticky
so
and gross.
sticky.
Yeah, I'm going to look down at Seven Fingers on the ground and just and repeat back some words to him that he said once to me, which was give no quarter, take no quarter. I assume he said that at some point to me.
Sure, why not?
And I'm going to let my swords fall, swing down, try to slash him across the chest.
Okay.
It's a decisive attack.
Yep, well, his defense is currently down because he is prone.
What about our questioning?
We might not kill him in one. Sorry,
gonna cut
it's
him in
not
half,
going
I
to.
know
Absolutely
it.
not going to happen.
We've been burned by this before.
Okay. We've been burned by this before.
Well, we're all gonna be burned by this if he doesn't do anything.
Accurate.
That is very true. Okay, spend a mode.
Where's our ice?
4 more dice.
Our ice people.
And then
when we-
-2. I'm not gonna.
So
Yeah.
his defense is reduced by 2.
Okay.
So his defense currently is 3.
I'm gonna spend those 4 successes now.
It's probably a good time to do that. Fuck, being prone sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's really bad. You get a -2 to your defense, and your attacks suffer -3.
-3.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't take any movement actions except standing up.
Haha!
I mean, it's important.
Let's make you 7 toes.
That-
I'd like to cut off 2 of his toes. 3 of his toes. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So that is that is 9 successes, which is 6 threshold
Mm-hmm.
plus the 4 power spent. I'm gonna roll my 10.
Yep. His soak is 5.
This removes from successes. Yeah.
No. Soak is 4.
think
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
Soak is 4.
2. Whatever. 3. You said 4, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number.
I rolled 3 successes.
Oh no.
That is
that
disappointing.
sucks.
So that's all. That's my power too, right? So I spent it.
He's going to attempt a rise action. Somebody can choose to oppose the action if you want.
Yep.
So that's a contested roll using your relevant combat ability, which is going to be close combat, I assume.
Can
Yeah.
multiple
So
people contest, or does it have
I'll
to just
just
be
like
one?
grab.
It's got to be one, and
Okay.
it's got to be somebody close to him, so it can't be you.
Oh, I couldn't just like fire at him to knock his knees out or something.
No.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, my bum knee!
Yeah, you know what?
Athletics versus
I
my
probably would've
combat
let that,
ability.
but so for
next
you,
time.
it's going to be your force and your close combat.
Force.
For him, it's going to be he's going to try to dodge you, so it's going to be his finesse and his athletics, which is not amazing.
Yeah, well,
Excellent.
I'm
I'm gonna get
super injured, so you know
I now have I no longer have anything to
that
contribute
didn't
to.
go in the fucking pot.
I should have built more power. I don't have time. We don't have
Wait,
time
why
to
are
build
you at
power.
-1?
-2.
I'm at -2.
Sorry, I meant power.
Oh, that's because I went the wrong way. Thank you, Liz.
You have more to contribute than that.
3 successes.
That beats my 2.
Yay!
So he tries to get up, and Oresta just
Because I spent all my power.
like crashes him back down.
Yeah, just
It was a successful
Like,
decisive attack. I didn't
pushes
do
her
that.
Tetsubo horizontally, like down.
Round,
Okay.
regain. It is the last round of Burning Judgment Halo.
Right. Right.
This time around, it's going to be your fortitude
Mm.
and your... I will allow you to either use close combat to try to block using your weapons, or I'll let you use athletics to try to bounce out of the way.
Still swinging on the curtain. I would like to now swing up to the chandelier.
The song ensues.
Right.
Sweet.
We will not be DMCA for this. I love Kung Fu Fenris' like drip cheer.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
good.
really sweet. Thank you. I've not managed to leave a scratch on him, and seeing more flame coming down, I'm gonna like, I'm not throwing myself prone, but I am kind of ducking down and putting my swords up above my head to try to block it. That's that.
If I don't succeed, I incap. So I'm going to spend 2 motes to reduce the damage by 1, using Spirit Strengthens the Skin, which can
Okay.
give me, for 2 motes, I can remove 1 environmental damage.
You only have to do that if you fail,
Reduce. Okay.
by the way.
Well, I failed. I only got 3 successes, so
6.
So 2 for you. You got 6 successes. 1.
4 successes.
3.
so I take 2 damage.
Yes.
Great.
I take 3 damage,
Mhm.
which puts me at in cap.
Mhm.
1-2 over.
Now in this game you can't die unless we talk about it.
Right. Should we talk about? Should we go talk about it?
No,
I
you
am
are
kidding,
you
but
are
like-
incapacitated.
Yeah, that's fair.
We can talk about it if he decides to continue pressing an attack on you, but no, that's it. You're still up for now.
With
Will not be
1, like, if I hadn't spent those motes, I would have been incapped.
Well, that's Oresta's thing.
Disaster. It's true though.
Staying up.
Killing it.
This is why we don't have flavor for breakfast. And Gale like starts punching the ceiling angrily. Pyres is out.
Yep.
Yeah, so I imagine the flames just kind of overcome like his guard, and he just like
Oh no.
slumps down.
Ellie
onto
Spot
the
has a
table.
thing to tell you.
Yes, I know. I was letting Scott do his flavor text before I took advantage of his being
Flavor
incapped.
Town is over. Go for it. It's all good.
Oh, fuck. All right. I'd like to activate Hopes of the Helpless. When an important ally falls,
Help me!
or is otherwise removed from combat, the wielder may spend 1 mote and make a reflexive Fortitude War roll. For every threshold success, 2 non-incapacitated allies may gain that much power. I don't actually know what the difficulty is of this roll, though.
It's the standard difficulty. 3.
3? Great.
So I'd like
When
to
it's not mentioned.
right in there.
Incapacitated allies? Oh, to not. Sorry, I totally
Any
missed.
non-incapacitated.
I was like, why
So
does
thing
want to give me power?
So it's
And
specifically
Flavienne.
Flavienne and Oresta who are the
the only ones that are left.
I was like, 2 are
Rude,
down. I'm like,
but
wait,
thank
but
you.
we're 5. That's so many people. In other games, we've usually had like 1 tack on at a time, but now we've got 2. Could you bring the
Pyres, you died for nothing. I'm real sorry, bud.
Oh no!
Only
What?
rolled 2. All this for nothing. Pyres, you died for nothing.
You still get your action.
Okay. Oh Jesus. Okay. So I'm swinging from the chandelier, and I would like to. Can I tell how hurt he is?
He hasn't been hit.
Right. All of our decisive have failed. Okay.
Well, her gambit succeeded and knocked him down,
Yes.
and he is still down. He's on the ground.
Gambit
He
has-
cannot.
Okay.
Can't get up because Oresta's just like, oh, stab it.
Okay. So I want to aim and fire, hoping to embed Soaring Eye in his shoulder blade.
Okay.
Decisive attack. I'm spending 10. No, I'm spending 9. I have my 9. Spending
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Well, his defense is 4 because he is on the ground.
Great. Oh my.
You're not gonna like
God.
hook your knees around the chandelier and hang upside down. And
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Do that.
Okay, I'll do that. Kidoki. And then I'm at.
What color is your hair currently? Green.
Yeah.
Is your green hair just like?
3 ag, and then I get 2 minus my 1. Does he still have the cover bonus?
Yes, he still has a concealment bonus.
So how many do I subtract from that?
He gets it. He has it for the show. 2.
Okay.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
Thank you. And I have my accuracy right there to remember it. 7 successes.
Okay, that's 3 plus 9.
Okie dokie.
That's 12.
Our zeros doubled for this.
For this, yes. I don't believe that.
I don't think
is-
there's.
Oh,
any
good.
that doesn't double.
Kate, can I have you witness how many 10s I rolled?
Oh, that's not a good thing.
I've truly never
Is
seen
that
this
little
before.
star also a 10?
What?
That's 13 successes.
Okay, well, 4 of those are knocked off from his soak.
13 successes.
Yeah, check this out.
Yeah, it's like all zeros. Do you want to take a picture for safekeeping?
I do.
Nice changeling dice.
You were specifically aiming for his shoulder blade?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I get to really say what I'd like to do, I'd like to
You're
embed
killing
him to
him
the
with
floor.
this.
Oh. Wow.
He doesn't.
Fine, I'm not too
He doesn't
mad.
have 2 ox
He has
bodies?
not. Well, he has 9 health levels.
Yeah.
And you have. That's the
Yeah.
9.
Yep. I can
That's the
see.
joke.
That's the joke. You suck, McBain. Do you want some?
Yes, please. Thank you for.
Just read.
You'll get a chance to talk to him before he dies. Don't worry.
Oh, good.
But where do you want Soaring Eye?
I want it so the hand that I aimed for before and missed, it now embeds in that arm,
Okay.
severing his shoulder, severing his arm at the shoulder. Is everyone?
Yep.
We won't go much further than this, but
That's as much as we'll describe.
and I would like him to be bleeding out at a rapid pace. Thank you. And I would like to drop down to the ground in a Black Widow landing,
Poser.
please. I'd like to pose.
Also that.
Poser.
Flavienne takes 2 steps and sees this. She raises her fists, and then just the flame overwhelms her, and she falls backwards next to Siantel and Pyres.
God.
So it's the 2 of you who are up.
Damn.
You were eliminating a loose thread. All you had to do was not hurt a hearthmate, and you would have been safe to leave.
No one leaves the Vendetta.
Did he say no one will use or no one will
No one
lose?
leaves.
No
No
one
one
leaves.
leaves the vendetta, yeah.
Was it?
Leaves the vendetta.
Well, you are.
You said you're cleaning house. We're bringing it down.
And all will know who you were. Fuck your house and fuck you. I spit on his face.
Oh shit!
Is his dad? Is her dad maybe there in that moment?
I don't care.
Huh?
You were wrong. All of you were wrong. The realm falls because of your closed-mindedness.
Killing a student isn't closed-minded. Cleaning house isn't closed-minded. You're the one caught up in a dead house's ridiculous ideals, and you're dying for them.
The best thing is, you're not even going to be remembered for the glorious House of Celsi. You're going to be remembered for the traitor House Pelops.
Hey, we just caught a traitor's Pelops. I won't give her a little fist
I
bump.
think there's an unmarked grave just for you. Maybe just outside the city limits.
Are we the villains?
Yes. Hi, villain.
Is this
And he slumps.
being a hero?
I'd like to search his
Is
pockets.
this heroic? There we go.
You find another couple of cartridges of fire dust.
Man, he was stacked.
Is there anything like a business card or contact information?
Oh yes, yes. The old Celsi business card. It's actually just written Pelops 7 fingers, but Pelops is crossed out.
Yeah, and it just writes
On the back.
Celsi.
It says best vendetta in the business.
Aside from a couple of extra coins in the fire wand that he was carrying, no.
I'm going to check on the well-being of my hearthmates, starting with see and tell.
Yeah, that's a good.
She's alive, barely, but she's alive.
I have 2 sagacity. Can I try to stabilize her?
She's stable,
Cool.
thanks to your help. I'm just
And then I'm going to work through my other 2 hearthmates. And stabilize them as well.
I would like to assist where I can.
Yeah.
I have 4 sagacity. Can
There
I?
you go. You're even better.
the room's still on fire, for what it's worth. But
let's
not like
get old
it's
Flo
not like
back
a
in here
blazing
so she can
inferno.
start
It's like
spewing,
the curtains are
I was going to say,
aflame.
just take all the oxygen out. It's not like we need to breathe or anything.
Oh.
But actually, you could probably do the whole bubble thing we did in the fire before.
Actually, yeah. Can I just say to Oresta, can you get them all out of here? And can I work on removing the oxygen from this room?
It's not really something that our aspects can do.
All right.
Otherwise, they would just be like, and
Airbending.
What if
yeah,
what if I
Joke, yeah.
promised
Bloodbending.
to just use it this one time for flavor?
One
what
time.
you can do is prevent air currents from entering the room.
All right, I'll do that. And I'll start
to slow the spread of fire.
I'll start ripping curtains off the wall and trying to smother flames.
I mean, I'm just going to ditch into the adjoining kitchens.
Dipset out of there.
I'm going to go into the adjoining kitchens and fill some stock pots with water.
As you go into the kitchen, you see Vij. He's got a stock pot lid that he's holding up in front of him like a shield, and he's trembling. And he's got his walking stick out above.
The current battle is against a fire. Literal fire, if you could be of assistance. You have protected this house for longer than I've been alive. Come. I want to hold out my hand to him.
He puts down the stock pot lid, and then he picks up, very teeteringly, just the massive soup that was being prepared for lunch, and he starts to walk towards the living room.
Thank you, Krister.
I would like to, while I'm trying to put out the fire, I'd like to spend a mote to use wind carried words technique
Mm-hmm.
to send a message to Bracken.
Okay.
As long as she's still in the same town or city as us, I can do it. Okay. Just gonna tell it like it is. 7 fingers was a Celsi.
Shit.
Attacked us, now dead. We are at blank. Like, insert Oresta's house now.
Okay.
We're in trouble. Help.
You can't receive a message.
No.
Yep.
So your message is sent.
Thank you.
Yeah. So current project, extinguish fire.
Need my thing.
With Vij's help and with some of the other servants who come in once it's clear that the battle is over, the fire is quickly quelled. You're gonna need new curtains in here, but otherwise the damage isn't too extensive. You can wake up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm. I don't know. I want to be sort of just like against the wall with Flavienne and Siontel and just like, Did we get him?
Yeah. Gale got him.
Good.
Gale's just wandering around being like, I could use a hand. Picks up his arm like,
Oh! Sorry, one of these, yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Oh God.
I'd like to like go and be near Siontel, just like watching for when she wakes up.
it would seem that she was not injured. So whatever did this looks to have been poison.
Can I do any further investigating on that to see like how it might have been administered or what type of poison it is? Because we smelled blood, so that's not a good thing.
But you smelled copper and iron of blood, but you did not actually smell
Okay.
like specifically whether there's blood or not. It was not enough. So there may have been a struggle,
Okay.
but the reason why she was unconscious was poison, not due to like blunt trauma.
Because what I'd like to find out is if he intended to kill her or intended to take her back to Excelsi for like
Well,
trial
that
or
is more of an
something.
investigation.
So if this was like a lethal dosage of poison or something that works over time or...
So this would be more of a... I'm going to have you roll fortitude awareness for this.
Oresta, what did he want?
To clean the house.
Right.
There is still, by the way, the occasional rumble. You're also in Anima Flux.
Oh my god. 5 successes.
Once.
It would appear that his intention was to kill her. There wouldn't have been a way for him to leave this room with her unless it was like at speed, and Seven Fingers wouldn't have been able to escape an air aspect who could follow him.
That's right, bitch.
Nice.
Thank you.
So the likely plan
Yeah.
from your strategic point of mind, kill her and then find a way to basically try to divide and conquer, eliminate the rest of you.
So,
We
we've
wouldn't-
caught a member of House Pelops trying to attack a great Cathak
Establishment.
and her hearthmates.
Oresta, do we want war between the houses?
I
This
don't
would be a good pretext for it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think it's a good reason for him to be dead.
We can turn this to our advantage.
If it wouldn't be
Classic.
an imposition, if you could have this conversation, perhaps out in the gardens or the stables. The silverware is threatening to tumble from the shelves.
Oh.
Your play has always been rambunctious around here.
Enough damage has been done for one day. I'm sorry for the mess.
Until you calm down a bit, I'm going to have to ask you to play outside, Prince of the Earth.
I understand. And I'm gonna grab a table that I've knocked over, write it, get my hearthmates on it, carry the table outside.
I mean,
Nice.
I've got 300 hearthmates
This
and I'm not
is-
leaving them.
I'll help.
Yeah.
Lol.
You make sure that they're like, they don't
You
roll
open the
off.
door.
I'll open the door for
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
I will open the door for you. Proszę.
I mean, I am at -2, so this is difficult for me right now.
I'll like hold Pyres'
No, it's not.
arm as it kind of like flops off.
Yeah, exactly. You're making sure they don't roll off.
it's so nice.
So as we're outside, Gale turns to everyone. Okay, this is me coming up with an idea off the top of my head. But what if we say that we were told to investigate Seven Fingers on Vierin's orders? We were told he was House Pelops. And then Seven Fingers revealed himself to be of House Excelsi. And that Vierin knew. This could be a way of implicating him.
Ooh. Viren was trying to throw us under the bus because that's what Viren does.
We have no proof,
me
of
likey.
course, but I'm hoping this will be enough to sow dissent.
I like it.
In claiming that he's a Celsi, you are basically saying, hey, Realm, remember this house that everyone believes is completely gone? It's not. And we have no proof of that at all.
Yeah.
Except for someone saying, oh, I think a Celsi's back. You'll be seen as insane.
Trying to make a big play.
It is a big play. I'm just saying
Damn it.
that you don't have any proof that he's a Celsi. You have none.
I know. I didn't expect people to believe us, but just that there would be some doubt. But it's too much of a risk.
It's
I'm going to go get a refill.
Oh yeah, sure.
it's
we
more
have-
along
If
the
you
lines
want
of
wine, we have here.
Yeah,
want-
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
convincing people that Vieren screwed up the House of Bells. Like, you have evidence of that. People survived, and it turns out that he had a dumb reason for doing it in the first place. Claiming that a Celsi's back, it's a huge deal.
Okay.
But this is still, I think, a good idea. We can maybe.
That business card, though.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Vieren sent us to investigate Seven Fingers, and they must be in league because he fell on us, attacked us. It's the same thing. We just don't bring up the dead house.
So, but then we have no. We say
Hey,
that
Viren
Viren
was colluding with the Pelops.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but we just said we didn't want to encourage a civil war.
But are we encouraging a civil war? House Gathak has declared enmity towards House Pelops. That is the current state of things. So there is currently tension. A member of this house snuck in, despite the current embargo, and attacked us.
I think it's what we have right now. I don't want to see the realm in chaos, but I think in this moment, you're both right. We can turn this to our advantage. We can implicate Vieren in this.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think saying that he's in league with Pelops is necessarily what we want to do.
Flavian's eyelids flutter.
Oh, right. Oh, I was like, she's unconscious. I forgot. Yeah.
And House Pelops. I mean, Excelsi and from the heptagram,
It seems fair that the water aspect is allowed to burn.
right? You should be immune. It should
What
be
about
like
the
rock,
fire
paper,
aspect?
scissors.
Yeah, you think you're in trouble. Ow.
Oh yes, let's argue over which one of us should be not hurt.
Oh, I'm more hurt than you. And I go to like smack her arm a little bit.
Okay.
playful.
The arm smacks her in the head. You hear a sickening crack. She just falls apart.
Can I have
That's all
my
it
3
took.
dots of merit back?
You are the only one to think, oh, if my ally dies, what do I change those merit
my
points
merit
into?
dots.
Priorities.
Kidding. She's the best.
You catch her up, I assume, on what you had just said, just so we don't have to play it back yet. I don't want Pelops. That I know others who are Pelops. Not me, of course. I am Asad.
Of course.
Right.
There's no need to see so many people go to war. Or is there?
No. No, and I think that's Viren's plan anyway. He's helping to sow dissent. What we need to do is turn Cathak against him. How can we use Seven Fingers and his death to that end? Or how can we use Seven Fingers and his death to clear our names from the House of Bells? If he had been an ally, we could have called on him to testify to the true events of what happened there and how Viren can't be trusted. But now Seven Fingers can't be trusted, and...
Could we believe anything he told us?
No, he was clearly so single-minded on this bullshit ideal that he was willing to break the rules of hospitality.
Juin told us that she thought he knew about her. I don't think it's necessarily impossible that he was the one who brought her there in the first place. I don't know if that was a lie.
Yeah.
There is one thing I think I got from all of this, is that Excelsi are in fact reaching out to Anathema, or at least non-dragon-blooded, and trying to find those who are sympathetic to their cause.
I clock the term non-dragon-blooded with a big, like, what the fuck, Gale?
She's getting
But are
used to
they
it.
using them to plant weakness in the realm, or are they using them for other reasons?
For the vendetta. They hate everyone, so the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So basically, anyone that isn't a member of the house, no matter how tainted and distorted and evil they may be, is still a tool.
That there's no way that the vendetta could mean the death of anyone who isn't Excelsi.
We can't rule out any reasons right now. We
need
just
to
have
wait
to look at facts.
We need. She starts
apparently it
shaking
also means-
Siantel.
It apparently also means the death of inconvenient members of the house.
That
I hate
tracks.
them.
She was compromised.
I don't even know who the hell they are, and I hate them.
Yes.
What is the vendetta? Who is it against? The Scarlet Empress is... Well... She's not here right now. Anyway.
If they kill a member of their own house,
They would.
for existing,
For betraying.
You hear the sounds of a horse galloping on approach.
I'd like to go to the
Is
window.
it the fire brigade?
I mean, the rest of the place didn't catch fire.
That's true.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I suppose in the
I
realm,
guess
probably
we're
don't
in
need
the
a fire
garden.
brigade.
So yeah, I look out towards.
Oh, right, we're outside.
It's 7 clones of 7 fingers. back to finish.
Roll join battle, I guess.
go!
To pull Soaring Eye out of elsewhere again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're dead.
Oh, God.
Well, I only need to gain one more anima before I can add my essence to soak.
Nice.
No, it's Bracken.
Oh, good. Is it?
She
She's my owl.
she gets off the horse in mid, like as it's mid gallop. She leaps off the horse in mid gallop. The horse just
Whoa.
goes straight into the stables. She lands, places gently a book on the doorstep as an offering, and then heads over to where she sees the 4.5 of you. Siantel's still passed out.
Oh, sure. Okay.
She only counts as half.
I mean, she can go in my bag of holding.
Ta-da!
There's no oxygen in here.
I think there's specifically canonically 10 minutes of oxygen, so yeah.
10
Not good.
minutes.
Did you have any suspicions?
First, perhaps we should see if you're all right.
We're not.
Right. Deep breaths. Not everything needs to be so instant.
Managed to get one of us alone, and then took on the other 4 of us.
So she reaches forward, she like lifts Pyres' chin up, like tilts, looks at his eyes, does the same thing for Oresta and Flavienne. And he's dead.
He better be. If he pops up in another town and it's Brevin, I swear to God.
Except his Australian accent's worse than mine.
Oh my
no.
god.
It's just so obvious.
Did I ever tell you I have a thing for Australian Aussie boys?
Oh, Pyres.
Pyres.
Oh yes, I dingo.
Oh no.
Oh no. it's
Kangaroos.
all falling apart.
Yes. Put a prawn on the Barbie.
Well,
Put
my
another
Australian
prawn on the
family will
Barbie.
literally be in the province and the adjoining province in the next few weeks.
Fantastic, yeah.
You can go down one level in Anima.
Level? Or just... Yeah, so level would take me down to burning. Boop.
Do you want to see him?
No. No, it turns out that he attacked someone I care about, so he's a right prick. I've no wish to see him if he's dead. You're sure it was him?
As
You're sure he's normal?
As sure as we can be. He did confirm a shared memory of ours.
He didn't glow green or blue or
He went in
whatever.
anima flux, if that's a term we
Yeah,
use.
he was able
on the
to
reg.
channel
He
the
was
powers of...
fluxing.
He was fluxing
He was able to...
hard.
He fluxed all over.
Oh, it's all over the
Channeled
walls.
flame.
Yeah, and water, yeah.
He's a water aspect.
He
That's why there was
channeled
steam.
water.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But he did use his halo thing.
Words and
fire.
shit.
That's because he also had a martial art.
Ah.
That's just not fair. 2 elements at once? Come on. That's
Well,
excessive.
one of those martial arts isn't.
Rest just
He doesn't get
hides her
to
elemental
shoot
buff
fire.
already.
His righteous devil style.
That's
It's the fire wand.
the fire one style.
Righteous.
I mean, that's... What a bro. Okay.
Oh, God. Okay.
How were you able to get here so quickly?
I was here.
Oh,
Why'd you ask?
I...
I did ride here on a horse.
No, I know, but are you watching us?
No, I asked her to.
You asked her?
Well, I called her. Duh.
But-
I saw her at the library a few days ago. Yesterday.
I'm sorry to ask this when I'm obviously in no position to fight, but Professor, can we trust you?
Oh, I suppose I hadn't considered that.
Hi.
Fuck.
Rock, paper, scissors, let's play. Oh boy.
Are we? You challenging me to a game? What
Yes.
did we call this game? Earth, fire, air, or something?
I think that sounds right?
Yeah.
Earth, fire, air? Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
right.
I lose.
Air covers Earth.
Thank you.
I suppose then you kill me?
No, I don't.
No, you were rock. I was air. I engulfed you and,
I always thought nothing beat Earth. Earth always wins.
Look, so there was a pretty big fight inside just a few minutes ago. I choose to trust you. If you want, you can repeat the sentence I sent to you, word for word.
yeah, because, like, you can't mess with that, can you?
Hope not. God, if we are. If
She
we can,
does
I'm
so.
Fucked. Cool. Yeah, it's her.
It's just more. Did you follow us here?
Goodness no.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got Viren, we've got Seven Fingers, we've got everyone, all of our teachers that we thought were alive or even dead were there. Are there any other professors that are going to come out of the woodwork?
Are you surprised that the area in which the action's happening is surrounding you? You do understand that you are the heroes of the House of Bells,
Yeah,
whether or
we
not the world knows it.
left and went to the far western tip of the Blessed Isle, and yet here you all are.
Yes. You decided to go towards the seat of House Cathak.
Yes, because we're Cathak. You know, we went home.
Safety in numbers.
Why are you all here? You're not Cathak. As far as I know, the House of Bells wasn't the House of Cathak.
It's a great fashion line, though.
Look, I asked her to come here.
Cathak Labs.
She was in my eon. I'm very glad that she's here. Because I think we need a faculty member. And this is currently the only one who is alive that I can fully trust.
I was tracking Juin.
Oh yeah, she's here.
Yes, I know.
Do you want her? I can just, like, get her.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Okay,
And
well.
when and if she believes it's safe for her to be around me, then we'll look at it that way. For
'Cause
now,
if-
I'm not convinced. For now, your safety is of slightly more importance.
Yeah, I guess she's 0 for 2 for defending the students.
Sorry. That's an out of character snort.
Well, that's hardly fair.
Did you have any suspicions about him during the times that you worked together?
I knew that Seven Fingers had certain beliefs that were not exactly shared by everyone. He always had great respect for those who he considered were the opponents, who you would call Anathema. You knew this already, by the way. It's one of the intimacies that you discovered about him.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to figure out a way of using the fact that we had to kill him to discredit Viren.
You're not trusting in your plan?
No, it's just this is something else that has fallen into our laps, and
More angles of attack.
we need all the leverage we can get.
I'm not very good at lying.
No, but you're good at helping me come up with strategy. Don't need you to lie for us.
What happened here? And she looks at Siantel for a second, and then draws her hand back. Oof, nasty stuff.
Poison. You tried to kill her first.
If there's one thing that I can be sure of, it's that poison's been at the heart of this whole thing. Viren used it as well.
Anduin.
Yes. Which is why she was revealed in the first place. It's not easy for one of the night to reveal themselves. Unwillingly.
Is it possible that the place where Seven Fingers procured this poison is also where Viren got it?
I'm not sure. But perhaps that's a link that you can use to tie the two together. There's evidence of poison here.
There's no proof. It's all just hearsay. It's all just our word against.
There's proof of poison.
Yes, but not that Viren utilized any. I'm trying to link him to this house.
What if we
I
got
believe he
him
was
to
working
admit
with
it
them.
publicly?
Perhaps unintentionally.
Do you think that a certain someone would be up for that?
I don't know. They've managed it thus far.
If you're trying to pin a crime that might be unrelated to Viren on Viren, you could just commit a crime of your own, one that's closer. Not all openings our opportunities. They seem to be on opposite sides of this conflict.
I just can't shake the idea that they were in league with each other, or at least that one was using the other. But I don't know. I don't know because whenever we question anyone, they lie to us.
Well, you've been questioning enemies.
We didn't know they were enemies at the time.
I understand it's difficult.
We need to gather. We're trying to trace what Viren was doing and who he was talking to. And for somebody who made so many obvious blunders at the House of Bells, he's done a really good job of covering his tracks.
Well, you've just had an attack on... I'm sorry, what is it your father does again?
Effectively accounting. Bookkeeping.
Well, you've had a member of House Pelip's attack a member of House Cathak. I imagine that this is the sort of thing that might need an investigation. Sort of thing that there might be people from Canaan's pavilion who will need to come out here to attend to your poor father.
The distress of having such violence brought into his home, someone who was welcomed as a guest.
That opens up the pavilion.
That's true. We could see if he has anything hidden there. I'm still looking for the original copy of his will. Maybe it's there.
It's Father's Gambit.
Sorry?
Well, you're drawing pieces away from one area of the board to another.
Oresta's like carefully arranging some of the rocks in the garden.
I like rocks.
It's like a calming thing?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Like it's got some of that Zen influence. It's not nearly as immaculate as your mother's.
Oh, sure. She's pretty intense about that stuff.
Nothing could be as immaculate as me.
Nope. Oh.
Kitty.
That's a good point, though. Your parents are still there.
Right.
Is it going to be easy for us to snoop around?
I don't see why not.
All right.
They would want to help.
You have tea with your parents, and we'll look around.
Done. Scott is obviously excited at the proposal. Pyres is probably not excited at the proposal.
You're going to need to rest. You're all going to need to rest. The investigation can happen tomorrow.
They need some time to tidy up before they can welcome additional guests.
We shouldn't be disturbing the crime scene. But we do need to rest, it's true.
Poor boy. She rests a hand on Pyres' shoulder.
I'm okay.
Clearly, you're all right, but...
What is it? What did I do?
It's disillusioning when one sees one's heroes fall.
We're not your heroes.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
And then she starts to laugh. Not four of you. But at the same time, Cathak is not weak. But Cathak is not winning. In terms of who is making a serious play for the Scarlet Throne, Cathak is not a sure thing. This is going to unbalance it even further. Oresta, what do you need?
A lot of things.
Leave it an arm in it.
It's hard to narrow it down to something reasonable.
Rest for the day. I will inform the pavilion that we need as many as possible to come here to help tomorrow. First light.
Thank you.
I'll confer with your father. We'll have the official writ. We'll get his seal on it, and I will deliver it tomorrow. He's frequented the library before. I have met him.
The last familiar face I welcomed into my home, lying bleeding out, not because we didn't like him, but because he tried to kill my hearthmate.
Would you care to accompany me?
I would prefer that, thank you.
She offers her elbow.
I will take it.
Anyone else?
I just kind of look at Siental and then shake my head. Jesus. Yikes!
So she goes off with you. Your father is delighted at the receipt of a book, even though, you know, his curtains are all fucked up and his daughter is also kind of fucked up. He does make an effort to understand what's going on and what happened. What story do you give your father?
That's a good question.
I'm gonna give the basic events of he was our professor, he claims to have known Mom. So, you know, we're sitting down having dinner with us. He said he wanted to speak to our hearthmate alone. She seemed okay with it. Then they were way too quiet. And then he had poisoned her. So we are trying to figure it out.
I'm honored that I was able to provide a place for you to exact your... Still, I'm glad it happened here.
Sorry that he burned up your curtains.
I can replace curtains. They were due for replacing anyway. Your mother picked those curtains out, and she's not here. Hey.
You're gonna have some freeloaders for a few extra days.
This is not a problem. Not for me. It's certainly not for Vij. He's been bored this entire time.
My friend is gonna help us make some arrangements.
You know the librarian? She hasn't been here for very long. Knows exactly what I'm looking for. Can find the book faster than anyone.
I'm just gonna look to Bracken to let her make whatever explanation.
So Bracken says, I'm going to arrange it so that I'm going to deliver this paper. All right, I just need you to like sign it. And we go, you know, flip, 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 flip. Is there anything else that I can do?
Oh. It's a very different Bracken.
And by the time that you get back to your group and you've been escorted back to rooms and all that, Siental starts to come around. The first thing she does, though, is she sits bolt upright and she shouts out, and I'm not going to shout. We're in a society. We live in a society.
We live in a society. Yeah.
We aren't those rambunctious teenagers.
Oh, that's true. And she shouts out, Gale, run.
Hey. It's over.
And then, as if she doesn't quite realize where she is, and then slowly, it's as if each individual muscle she has to unknot, and then she lies back down on the bed. He was never defecting.
No.
He wanted to know what I knew. He wanted to know what I was doing, and then he was going to protect the vendetta. What an asshole.
Do you know how he poisoned you?
He must have slipped something into my drink at some point while we were talking.
Well, I cut his arm off and watched him bleed out on the kitchen floor, the dining room floor.
That's hot.
Thanks.
Okay. Now, if he acted alone, if he came here alone, and I assume that he did,
He seemed arrogant enough to think he could take us all down himself.
then that means that Celsi still doesn't know what I'm up to. What did we learn? He's the one responsible for bringing you into the house. He's also the one who gave me the order.
So despite what he said, he did seem pretty keen on bringing down the House of Bells. Or at least having you work to bring down the House of Bells, and maybe take the fall for it if it failed. He seemed pretty keen to get close to Juin.
I don't understand. He loved the school just like all of us did.
Guess he loved something else more.
I hate this. Why is it that the only people I can trust are in this room?
At least you got us.
Oh, we're all there.
Oh yeah, are we all there? Well, sorry.
Yeah.
I realized I just
At this
got
point,
spoke.
yes.
Okay, I
Oh,
just
okay.
spoke
Said that
up.
when you
Great.
got back.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, was this a private moment?
Yeah.
No. It's like very deliberate. Aresta's not in the room.
Oresta, get in here.
Gale's gonna like bring her some tea, or like a cup of water or something. I don't know.
I'm sure they've brought tea and snacks and stuff for us.
I will help her drink said tea and eat said snacks.
Scarlet Empress kept the house alive for a reason. We don't know, at least I don't know exactly what that is. And the vendetta is this knowledge that the house has a past, a history, and a goal.
But what is the goal? What is the vendetta?
I only know glimpses, stories. At one point we tried to take the throne. Celsi tried to kill the Scarlet Empress. And our punishment was that the house was dismantled brick by brick, except that it wasn't. She kept us going.
She did.
The Scarlet Empress is responsible for the reason that Celsi is still alive today. She knows a good thing, and she knows when people owe her and how to use that and leverage.
Not thinking that a house divided in that much pain would maybe try to get back at her in some way, get back at the realm? It's very dangerous.
But she's the one who saved the house, just as she's the one who destroyed it.
She's made herself a non-target by having spared them. And they ostensibly would have deserved it.
But you remove one target and replace it with another. So if she wasn't what they were after, then what were they trying to accomplish? Did they have a vendetta against specific houses? Was it all houses? Was it
If I were to
something else?
guess, it was to destabilize the realm. I just don't know to what degree and for what purpose. And I also don't know if... I have to imagine that Viren wanted to destabilize the realm for his own purpose.
But they had a common purpose, even for a short amount of time. And I think Viren is easily influenced enough that Celsi could have taken advantage of that.
Then it's Celsi who prompted him to do it. Who convinced him that it was okay.
I think
It's possible.
Ugh.
At least it's a working theory. We have like 25 working theories, but that is...
Then we discredit him.
Yeah.
But is it time for us to strengthen the other houses?
This is why I'm hesitant to use the fact that he's Pelops as a reason for Seven Fingers' death. Because if we're trying to strengthen the houses, we shouldn't be throwing kindling into this fire that no doubt was caused by Viren anyway. So why did he have to die?
Why did you have to die?
Seven Fingers.
Because he attacked
Yeah,
us.
he came after us.
He attacked us.
Prick.
Yeah, he was. But
Not gonna lie, there's a part of me that wants to just yell in the square tomorrow, Excelsi's real. It's out there. Because the greatest thing they have working for them right now is secrecy, and even if nobody believes me, suddenly it's a word that it will have been breathed for the first time in years.
And as soon as you name a ghost, it becomes more frightening, no? There's a million different shapeless terrors in the dark, but as soon as you name one, it's all you see everywhere you look. I don't think the paranoia of that response, I don't think an invisible enemy is the one we want to rally around just now.
That's true, and it would destabilize the realm, because everyone would be doubting the members of their own houses. If we say he's Pelops and he attacked us, then they're just going to turn on Pelops even harder. If we say he was an assassin sent to attack us, they're going to figure out he was Pelops. I just don't know how we can justify the fact that he's dead without making the Pelops conflict even worse.
If people draw their own conclusions about house politics, that's not our problem. Our problem is making sure that the person who needs to be destroyed is.
No one knows he's dead yet.
That's the other possibility. Someone was sent to go and warn people of an investigation, but the investigation could be into a mysterious attacker, not someone who's dead.
I don't know. I'm really trying. Oh, God. Oh, my brain.
You were trying to make sure that Viren got discredited
Yeah.
in a way that would spread and in a way that people could come to their own conclusions first. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You were trying to give an opportunity for them to learn the narrative before you force them to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we do the same thing here?
What are you suggesting?
Come up with another gateway opening? And she laughs a little bit, knowing that it's kind of silly. Look, they came after Oresta's family. But we don't have to say it was Pelops. Seven Fingers was a survivor of the House of Bells. One of the only survivors of the faculty.
So he was on the attacking side and he came to finish the job?
We put him on Viren's side.
He was mad that I led the resistance. And any House of Bell students would, right?
That's perfect.
Cut off the head of the snake.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. That could work.
And it props us up. He came after us.
Excuse me.
That makes us valuable targets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And more important.
The more visible we are, the safer we are, too.
And it carries us a bit of weight. After all, why would you come to fuck up Oresta if Oresta wasn't important?
It also sends a very satisfying message to Excelsi. Their agent came to us to deal with someone. Their agent was killed. swiftly dispatched, and let that be a message if they want to mess with us again.
Ellie, that's true, but we're not talking about that right now.
What time is it? 11? Yeah.
AM.
AM, yeah.
The best time. Oh, 4?
If you want.
Do you want some?
Thank you.
The door to your room, I assume this is the same room that you were hanging out in before. The door to your room, there's a knock and you hear your father's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Aresta.
I answer the door.
Your father's there and he's holding a wrapped box. It's about this big. Here. I was waiting for the day that you were going to break my heart and leave again, but maybe you need it now. Good. Enjoy. And he closes the door.
I want to just pull my head out. As far as I can,
Closes the door.
as far as I can tell, it was about us and the school, not you or anyone here. So trouble shouldn't be
No.
aimed at you.
If someone's trying to mess with my daughter,
I just
even
mean,
if I'm not as strong as her,
when
smart as her,
we're
beautiful as her,
when we're
as well connected as her.
able to move elsewhere, I don't think trouble will focus here.
And if it does, I'll fight back. Because fuck them.
Or surrender and I'll come save you and be a superhero, and then you don't have to get a scuff.
I mean it, look at me. Anybody who comes after you, they're my enemy too.
I appreciate that, but I also like you alive and well. So play smart. I know you are.
I can do smart. Again, not as smart as you, but I can try.
I guess I didn't send you my report cards. Thank you.
Oresta's failing gym?
Oh no.
hell happened?
How?
C's get degrees, okay?
C's get degrees.
Yes.
There it is.
We're interested.
Inside the box are just like heaps of chocolates.
Nice.
That's sweet.
Good night. Or good day. God, this has been a long morning.
Take the time you need. I'm here for you, but I don't need to be here for you. Okay? Now, I'm not letting anyone else in the compound for now. And I should point out that Vij is going to try and insist that you come in for dinner. You don't have to.
I'll come down. We'll come down.
We're coming down for dinner.
If we are fit and able, we will be down. It will not be out of any snub if anyone declines. I mean, he's older than us.
Already your wounds are starting to recover. A lot of them were burns.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's starting to just sort of flake away. So you can remove your wound penalties.
Oh, thank you.
All you need is one recovery
That's
scene,
it, right? Yeah.
Recovery scene.
right?
Pretty well.
And then you're healed up. So, seeing as how you didn't immediately decide to charge off and do something else that was wicked stupid, then there
Wicked
you go. You're
smart.
Do recovery scenes drop anima as well? I think so.
Imagine so. It's like a scene.
I don't
right?
think I have that.
you'll
much.
be able to drop your anima at this point. Your anima will drop to 0 before you
Yeah, it drops pretty quick as long as you aren't spending motes. So.
drops right down to 0 apparently.
Yeah.
How about Ciantel's recovery?
Same thing.
Yeah.
That the point of essence is that you don't have to spend a whole lot of time just getting better.
Hanging out in an underwater manse, going, oh, God, my arm.
Those were good dots I put into that man's.
They were excellent.
Sweet
They
little
served
gem out of it,
really
too.
well.
You got a crown.
I got a little.
I'm gonna share
little
the
tiara.
chocolates with my hearthmates.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't like chocolate.
Well,
I lie.
more for us.
She just scoops up 3 of them.
She's the best.
All right.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is how we can move forward. It makes us look good. It makes Viren looks bad. It definitely makes Seven Fingers look bad, and it sends the message to Excelsi, like you said. Don't mess with us.
And we are using all of the available facts so that if any other House of Bell student crops up, all they can do is confirm that, Seven Fingers was conveniently gone and then conveniently back.
And if we ever get Excelsi to come back, we can claim that he was defecting.
He
Yes.
said those words to us, to our faces.
God, why couldn't we have invented recording software?
How's your crafts? Oh,
How dare
Oh,
you?
We can just get your father's minor bird.
Ah!
I defect!
wow.
Do that again, Siantel!
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, you see, it's true. It's full truth. If he's going to repeat all of the things.
Gotta do it all.
Roll over. Rock.
Okay,
roll over.
and if the members of the household do come here for the investigation tomorrow, then that still leaves the pavilion open, and I still fully intend to investigate it.
We should try
yeah.
to find any paper trail that we can. It'll only help us more in our eventual, very loud, very public denunciation of him.
Do we see any use for Juin in today or tomorrow?
Well, she
Yeah, let's keep her close so that no one else can fuck with us.
Fair.
and she was also going to see if she could do any reconnaissance for us. Maybe she'll have turned something up.
She's the knight, as Bracken said. Would she be a useful set of eyes on your back tomorrow, since Santel is still pretty busted up?
Sintel won't be busted up by the time,
Oh, okay. Damn.
like, you're all recovering.
Sweet.
I would really feel more
Exalted
comfortable if
healing is
Ciantel
awesome.
came with me tomorrow.
Of course. Well, Oresta's gonna head over to her bookshelf and lift it up and take out the whippet and, like, start figuring out a way to attach it to her belt. She's like, well,
Are you doing it? Are you
I'm not
uncoiling and reversing it?
recoiling it, but I'm making sure that it is on my person, because the first thing that I thought of, or one round and 4 interruptions into combat, I was like, I should summon Juin. I can't. It's up there, so yeah.
Oresta just is like, sorry, Pyres.
Straight up, up through the
Comes
hole.
back. Pyres
Yeah,
is
no,
like splitting.
yeah. Jumps out a window, parkours up to her bedroom.
Yep.
Actually, the person who, I mean, as much as you were defending Ciantel and Pyres, if it weren't for you staying close, he could have rushed Gale Whispered. And
Yeah.
He doesn't have all that much in the way of.
Yeah, the
protecting
only
himself.
reason why I was effective in fighting him is because he was further
At
away from me,
distance,
so
yeah.
that was good.
That is
Actually, on that note, I'm gonna spend a mote and banish my soaring eye to elsewhere again.
Are you banishing it in air? How are you doing it?
I take some bellows from the fire
Yep.
next to her,
Oh.
and I just go.
pretty cool.
Keeping this, tuck it into my bag.
I don't got no moves.
Shit.
Yes.
I'm in. The door.
I open the door.
Is he okay?
Vija's standing there, and he once again now has a stick, and he bows low. Exalted princes of the earth, dinner is served downstairs for any who wish.
Does anyone need dinner in bed? Dinner in
Dinner and dead.
duvet? Dinner
No,
in
I
duvet?
think I'm ready to. I think I'm ready to go down.
Are you sure?
I'm not letting him get to me.
Good.
By the way, I took the liberty of protecting the body.
Appreciated.
I just imagine, like, in Snow White where she's sleeping and like all the 7 dwarves come out and they like build a crystal like casket around her. I imagine that's what he's done.
Wow.
Like he's created this like immaculate, like
I'm
weird.
charging admission.
It's made of pancakes.
It's made of pancakes. Oh god.
3 bits. This dead jackass.
Oh god, this dead jackass. Dear God.
Papa needs some cheddar.
God damn it,
Oh, we're
Beach.
not
You're
paying
steadily
you enough,
employed.
Beach.
What is this?
We can increase your wages.
Oh, God.
Will you accompany me downstairs?
Of course.
I'm
I
gonna,
would. Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, please, please. I was going to hold out my hand to Flavienne.
Oh, yeah. You do that.
He takes it.
I'm gonna take his elbow as if like he's escorting me, but I'm actually supporting him a little, so it's easier for him to walk.
And this is the sweetest goddamn thing.
And I'm gonna hang back to help Siantel.
When you step out, you see that Vij has lined up every member of the household on the stairway on each step, and they are lining the dining room as well. New curtains have already gone up, and he pounds his stick down twice. The heroes of today's battle, who protected us all. And as a one, they all bow once, come up, and they begin to applaud you.
I feel like shit. I brought danger into my home, and they're all being like, "We're heroes." But I also know
I feel
that
uncomfortable at the attention. Pyres
proper
is soaking
exalted
it all
thing.
in.
I'm loving it. Loving it is really strong, but Pyres is very much like, thank you, thank you. We did what we could. As we make our way downstairs.
More than a few of your family's attendants have cast eyes upon a certain Pi.Rs.
That's okay. He's there to be glanced upon.
You just got objectified, son.
Feels weird.
Wait, what about the part of your shirt that you ripped off to cover
Yeah.
your face? Is that still like hanging becomingly off you?
Yeah, so I'm imagining I've kind of torn myself a crop top.
That's
That's kind of how I imagine that I've done it. So it's like super tight here, but then just like billowy here.
If only I could fuck the pain away.
Oh, that's amazing. We were listening to that song earlier.
Yes, weirdly.
Sucking on my...
Okay.
All
right,
Beach.
I just like pop a chocolate in his mouth right there.
He's such a little sweetheart.
Thank you all in joining our combat against the ensuing flames.
Dinner is magnificent. It is everything you could want and more. Flavienne even has difficulty cleaning her plate as
But she does it.
people just run up and make sure that there's more every time. Your father is telling stories of the days shortly before and shortly after your exaltation, and he's speaking with glowing pride at what you've managed to accomplish. How you went off to the House of Bells, and he had no idea that you would come back from such a dangerous and awful event, not just a survivor, but a hero. And look at the four who she's chosen to walk with, how magnificent they are, each one in turn. Lingers a little bit on Pyres. Talks a little bit more about Pyres than maybe the others.
He's got a good sense of what people want.
I'm certainly not trying to be rude over dinner, but like knowing a little bit of Oresta's history, like a little bit, I'm definitely making sure to pay attention to him, to his stories, and I'm trying to ask questions about, that aren't too rude, like about, the time like just before Oresta's exaltation and like how magnificent it must have been and how proud they must have been,
At one point, though, during the dinner, your father gets up and stops next to Pyres and says, I'm sorry, do you mind if I speak with you? And he...
Airplane or thunder?
It's either thunder or the garage.
Oh, it's too deep for the garage.
Pulls a chair up. He's not like pulling you out somewhere. Here, drink this.
This is what happened to...
Possibly thunder? Possibly airplane.
How can I help you?
I've of course heard your name before. And I heard your name as somebody who was going to be the next scion of this house.
I think you might be mistaking me for my sister, but
It's your name, alongside hers, that's spoken.
high praise.
No.
Oh.
Because I'm not sure that the praise is something that you want. I can see your face when I speak of you. What is it you want? In this house?
Sorry, what exactly are you implying?
I've heard from your parents about the magnificent children and how they will lead us into a new age. I've even met your sister once or twice. Determined, focused, ready to accept whatever comes for her. But I realize I never asked you what you wanted. I've only ever heard what other people say.
I've been training to be a warrior, a leader, a hero. My whole life so far. It feels frivolous to want things that are not related to that life.
Frivolous is not listening to you.
It feels frivolous and disingenuous to want to betray that path for another that I might have walked in another life.
There's only one path that I care about for you, young prince. If I may be so bold. Keep my daughter safe. Everything else is up to you.
Sir, she's the one keeping me safe, but
Yes, maybe so. But that's all I care about, other than what you want and your wishes. Okay?
Okay.
He stands up and he bows low as if he realizes that he's been speaking slightly out of place.
And I return it, graciously.
You know, your sister told me something quite interesting once. She said that the only reason she knew that you would be greater than her was because you would be coming after her, and you would have the opportunity to stand on her shoulders. I don't see her here, but you're already standing tall.
We're both doing the same thing, she and I. We're both trying to find ourselves. Aren't we all? I say it like it's just the two of us.
I'm quite happy here, where I am, and I've accomplished more for the realm than I ever dreamed, because I managed to raise a daughter. My 50 other daughters, however, disappointments, every last one of them, buried behind in a shed.
Yikes. This is a joke.
Read intentions?
Dear God.
I'm really glad
He
it
la-
just
he laughs.
looked everything. Okay.
He laughs for a moment. I don't have the long life of one of you.
Yeah.
50 children.
I
That
know,
would be
I know.
impressive.
Maths wasn't my strong suit.
I suppose not.
After dinner, sir, is there do you have a small room for
Fry.
do you have a small room for exercise or meditative practice? Perhaps.
I know exactly where you can go. Oresta, you had a gym made for you.
Oh,
when
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now that's nice.
Do you want to describe what's in this gym?
So it's like a small version of a dojo. So it's got really nice, broad wooden boards that run the length of the room. It's got like one training dummy and one of those wooden ones that you see martial artists train with.
A
And
mook.
Is that what they're called?
mook.
A mook.
Oh, mook. Oh, that's cute. And it's got like some mats that are folded up in one corner. It's relatively Spartan.
Does the dummy have Pyres' face? I am kidding. That would be unlikely. It might.
It looks like it's definitely had things pinned to it.
Oh.
at times. It's made out of material that you could definitely like use push pins or like sewing pins to.
Father,
things to.
I need another painting of Pyres. Oh, he's quite the looker, isn't he? Yes, that's why I want it.
Cut to the outside of the house.
No, it was literally just like bad stick figures with like, long hair and sparkles.
I hate this guy. Mm-hmm.
Flavienne slides in next to Gale Whispered. I think I might be stuffed.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
When you go tomorrow, everyone's going to be sick. No one's managed to take us out yet.
Today was a bit too close for comfort.
When it comes to here, there is not such thing as too close. There's only comfort.
I wasn't thinking tactically when we came back into the room. And I saw Siantel lying there. I saw red. And even when we had an opportunity to question him, I didn't take it. I just wanted him to regret what he did. I wanted him to die knowing it was for nothing.
That's funny. Then perhaps today I have learned something very important indeed.
What?
You have an art.
And Kayla's like kind of hurt that it didn't appear until now. But she also understands. Shrugs it off. Thanks, I guess.
Siantel is close to Oresta. Why would you ever leave this place?
Cause I, had to go to school and, not break the house down when I was training. Needed to be somewhere, among my kind or whatever. The family allotted funds for it, and so I went.
You know what? This is worth fighting for.
So are you.
She slugs Oresta in the shoulder and it barely registers. Ow.
You register slightly more due to today's fighting.
Did someone let mosquitoes in here? What's going on?
Ouch.
Thanks.
You're welcome here at any time.
I meant for saving my life earlier today. Thanks.
I'm sorry I let him be alone with you.
I think he poisoned me while we were all together.
Ugh.
So, thanks. I hope I never have to repay that debt.
Oh God, no. We're hearth, whatever. We've got each other's backs. I mean, that's the whole thing about that. You're looking out for Gale.
I look out for all of you.
I know, but that's just part of the deal. There's no debts or like, I buy dinner today, you buy dinner tomorrow. Like we just keep each other fed, or in this case, protected.
I want to make sure that you knew that I'm not here just because of Gale.
I know.
She is. But she's not everything.
No, but it's definitely convenient that it's within the hearth. It means that we don't have, like, a sixth wheel, because carriages typically have 5. Anyway, it just makes things safer that way. But, like, obviously, if
It's gonna really stink for
you
somebody.
hurt her, if I'll hurt you, and if she hurts you, I'll hurt her, so just...
If you find somebody outside the hearth, that's okay, Like, I'll take a 6th wheel if it means that you find somebody.
But no, I mean, my dad's off talking to Pyres. For all I know, he's also trying to arrange him into my family, and he and Pyres' mom are gonna canoodle, and I'm gonna be stuck marrying Pyres.
Oresta, say hello to your new mother. I'm marrying your father. High five.
So, but, no, well, of course not. And I'm like, Oresta's gonna crack her knuckles. Of course it would be fine if I wanted to date outside the hearth.
You and Pyres, I could see it.
Ugh.
No?
Reaction has been noted.
He's really hot.
He is.
Hooray!
Then, like, the whole realm would be mad at me. I've had, like, a lot of people mad at me. I don't need, like, everyone mad.
Yeah, but Pyres is worth it.
What about Flavienne?
Flavienne's pretty worth it too.
Threesome.
Hmm?
Are you proposing something?
Pyres has entered the chat.
Oresta just, like, stuffs her face full of, like, food.
Gale Whispered and I are taking it slow. I don't know if we're ready for a 3rd.
Oh, I wasn't
Oh.
myself in with you. I was jokingly saying that Pyres, myself, and Flavienne would be a threesome. That way we'd have the 2 and the 3 and make up the 5. And
Thanks. She gets up.
Live Oresta.
She walks over to Gale Whispered. Come on.
quote ad.
Gale's gonna
We're gonna go take it slow. She like
go with her.
takes Gale Whispered's hand and starts
Nice.
like
Gale's gonna
walking up
walk
the
the
stairs.
opposite of slowly up the stairs.
That's not taking it slow.
Pyres.
Yes.
So you're in the gym?
Yeah, that's where I'm headed. Yeah, exactly. I'm just
Yeah, they're probably
pumping
are, like,
iron.
weights
I'm
as
not
well.
pumping iron.
Master Pyres,
Oh boy.
Beach.
we received a letter for you. It's been forwarded.
Oh, thank you, Master Veach. I'll take it.
It hands you a letter and it's got your family seal on it.
Oh, lovely. Thank you again for everything.
Of course. If you ever need anything in the gym, I used to maintain this place. I could lift with the best of them.
I don't doubt it,
Thank you.
but I just need to be on my own for now.
Of course. I would never be able to fathom the depths, the mind of one of the princes of the earth.
I just shake my head like a little sadly, like, oh, what a sweetheart. He thinks I have deep thoughts. You know what I mean?
Self-burn?
Self-burn. So before doing anything else, I'm going to open the letter with my family seal on it.
And the letter opens up, and the first sentence is, "Dear brother."
Oh no.
We don't have a burn.
And I think we'll end the session here.
I can still channel fire, hey? Just like that?
Yeah, you can.
Good.
Don't burn it.
I'm just thinking about it for next
I have
time.
charms that allow me to read things.
Oh, shit.
Don't burn it, yo. Well, that's a thing, isn't
Chicken,
it?
brown cow.
Your
wondering
sister's
about that. I was
back to kill us. Your sister's
Okay,
back to
fine. I'll
She's
marry
finding
Morel.
She's finding herself
Oh.
in your grave.
Now that's interesting.
What?
That's interesting. That I don't
Also,
understand.
that's the third Coke.
There it is. Oh, God, I owe myself another Coke. Just been jinxing all night here. Yes.
Well, hell.
Ugh. But
Yeah, yeah.
also this.
Oh, God.
Hmm?
GG.
GG.
No.
No.
We're glad you found us too, Tempest.
Welcome.
Welcome. And
Where did you find? How did you find us?
popped
Who
up
are
on
you?
a- on
Where's
a
Buttercup?
list, on the recommended list, you were
Oh,
saying?
like Twitch
I don't know.
suggestions?
Yeah, I guess
Not
so.
sure.
Suppose
Not
we'll
sure.
find out.
There's no way we're on any like Twitch.
Well, no, but
suggestions.
Twitch will suggest people that are related to other like channels you've watched. So if they've watched like
suppose that makes
Pukajutsu and
sense.
Dio, maybe, or like a bunch of other tabletop games that use similar like tags.
C'est possible, c'est possible.
Hashtags.
We are entering the fancy corner, though, so, you know.
Sacré bleu.
Sacré bleu! Le coin fancy!
Invaders.
Twitch.
Well, thanks, Twitch.
Thanks, Twitch. For what it's
Welcome
worth.
to you.
Yes.
Welcome. Welcome.
Well, we're going to start as we normally start. Elizabeth, if you want to point out something that you learned today.
I learned that Seven Fingers is a lying son of a bitch, and I'm glad he's dead.
Nice.
You learned that you're glad that he's dead.
Yes, I'm glad I killed him.
That's fair.
Damn.
Kate?
God damn.
I don't want to look at my character sheet if that's gonna answer the question for me. Learned that Oresta is willing to cooperate with Bracken and Juin now. It took Seven Fingers' attack on them for her to be like, okay, screw this. These two, as much as they're anathema, they've proven time and time again that they aren't going to just stab us when left alone. So, great. I guess I accept two anathema now. But only then.
It's strange that you accept to anathema after killing the person who was ostensibly on their side.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Scott?
War's complicated, John. That's what I learned
Yeah.
today.
War. War never,
War never changes.
changes.
Yes. I learned that
to coordinate with your partner when you decide to show up for game.
that's useful.
Because of your shirts.
Yay!
I like to coordinate. Yeah, I think. Well, I didn't quite get around to it just in terms of the gym and receiving the letter and stuff, but like I think that conversation with the dad led me to realize. I mean, anyway, okay, no, that's something else. Sorry. What I learned today is that House Excelsi's power is definitely far-reaching, probably more so than that Pyres anticipated. I think I might have anticipated it a little bit, but
Okay.
pretty cool.
Elizabeth, if you want to highlight someone's play here.
I'm gonna highlight Oresta putting herself in harm's way multiple times,
Many times.
even though it was eating away at her health, and she was like one level away from incapped.
I stopped doing it at the end because I was going to die. I let Pyres take a hit, which incapped him. Because I didn't want to be incapped.
I also
But yeah.
learned the Halo thing sucks.
That
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I also
good.
want to
Very
throw out Gale has killed before, When Flavienne was being watched by those two hooded figures.
Yeah. You
she
almost
dropped
killed
down
Brevin.
and Killed
Oh,
a
yeah.
random
Brevin.
person, and
The
it
other
wasn't
dude.
Brevin. But yeah.
Damn. That's true.
I would like to highlight Pyres.
Me too.
Jazz hands.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm focusing on the most recent moment, which feels lazy, but you know what? Fuck it.
That's
I liked your interaction with my character's father, and I liked that he was like, no, your character sought out what they needed, which was time, in a training room, rather than being like, oh, I should stay with everyone. Like, yeah, that Pyres is his way of contributing to the group is also taking care of himself so that he's able to contribute.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's going to be important, I think. And I want to highlight this. I mean, we're throwing around the word bozo. I'm sorry.
Hooray!
I want to highlight Liz's play today. In that, I mean, it's the scene after where you told Flavienne that you were like, oh, I just saw red when I saw see and tell. It felt very right. It felt very true that you would come in and be like, tactical advantage is gone. I am going to destroy you now. Like you would just, yeah, just full on Dalek exterminate business. Yeah,
Thanks, bud.
it was cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to grant each of you a minor milestone.
Ooh.
So that would tick tick tick. So that's one total.
Yeah.
Minor milestones are just granted that you don't have to
okay.
individually earn them.
My God.
You need an eraser?
Yes, please.
You can take it.
I think you'll find that the age of people here varies.
Yeah.
But that also people's ages are consistently underestimated.
Yeah.
That is true.
I was getting carded up to the pandemic. Wearing a mask makes only my tired eyes show, I guess. But like, yeah, I'm nowhere near carding age.
Carding age. In
I have a
this
Wonder
product.
Woman backpack, and every time I wear that into the liquor store, I get carded.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's
Amazing.
pretty
I got
awesome.
like my tiny backpack. Oh god.
I'm
booze in it.
83.
This is CNN.
This is Sienna. Cool. Do you have anything for me, or should I just move on?
Yeah, narrative spotlight is fucking the turn of Seven Fingers.
Yeah.
The reveal.
It's fucking bullshit.
The like, it's quiet in there, too quiet.
It was.
Like,
I'm mad. It's okay.
it's funny because, John, whether or not this was your intention, we had literally just been talking before tonight's game about how John, as a storyteller, presents NPCs that are so well-rounded and realized that, like, combat is a really big deal. So that's maybe why we don't fight as often as, like, in some other campaigns, because, like, it's not so clear-cut whether you can just attack someone without consequences. But, like, kudos here, we were like, consequences be damned, he's got to die.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, that was really, that's really funny.
I've only ever been carded once in my entire life, and I did it on purpose. The day I turned 18, I went into a store and I bought a lottery ticket, and I purposefully acted younger than I was. Like, I shaved, I made sure that I was all like, and I purposely acted that I wanted, because I wanted them to card me and for me to be like,
It's
and
today.
that's literally the only time I've ever been carded, except for moments where everyone is carded no matter what.
Sure, yeah.
I, for some reason, do not, and I don't even drink, so
Yeah.
like
it.
wasted,
Wasted superpower.
Damn it.
Yeah.
wasted.
Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first of all, hi.
Hello.
If you're new to us, then we appreciate that. We are a group that plays on Sundays. We also do other streams throughout the week, and we have previous streams. You can find that all. There's so much shit. I'm actually going to say, like, go check out our YouTube, youtube.com/RPGClinic. Find us on your favorite podcast app. Search for RPG Clinic. Yeah. If you want another entirely complete Exalted 3rd Edition campaign, or a way too long Changeling streaming, or Changeling the Dreaming campaign, or if you want our Star Wars campaign or any of the one-shots that we've done, it's all there. It's all up. There's lots of stuff. Go and find stuff if you so choose. Otherwise, you can also join our Discord for more information about that. I will also point out that currently, and I know people have been doing it because I'm getting the damn notifications.
Yeah, well, it's because it's an accidental unlimited EXP day because I clearly screwed something up in the code.
Quick.
We launched last week. It's still kind of in beta, which is why we haven't gone like wide on it, but we launched last week a 24/7 mass persistent Changeling the Dreaming Discord game.
Mm-hmm.
You get your character station, you go in, you play. It's some people are already kind of showing up regularly every day. It seems like people are having fun. We could always use more players. The more players, the more fun, the more stuff gets done.
I'm noticing some things moving and shaking in there as well. Like people are starting to make moves, and not in a weird political or combat-y sense. Just like people are starting to make moves towards things that they want to accomplish, which I always think is great.
Yeah.
And you can find your way onto Disconcordia through our Discord.
Ah.
I see what you did there.
But we also have other streams.
We do.
Yeah, we all stream individually. I stream on Tuesdays at twitch.tv/biffthebaus. I stream in character, and this week I will be finishing. I'll be catching Carmen Sandiego and her goons. It's been 2 weeks already. I really just kind of assumed I was just going to zip through it.
There's a lot.
So it's a lot more than I remember.
I don't think you're going to be done in 3 days.
Damn it. Well, we'll see. But we're having a blast. I got access to the more full CD-ROM version that has the travel agent and all the
with the voice acting and stuff.
And then terrible music.
Just wait till you play We're in Space.
Oh my god. Well, I kind of want to just go for it right now, John, but I'm gonna try to get this deluxe version done first. That's Tuesday at 1800 Eastern.
When's dog?
What's dog?
On Wednesday, last week I didn't stream because it was a day off Discord, but I did stream. I streamed on Discord, streamed Cookie Clicker of all things, and it was lovely. Coming up, though, I imagine that there will be another game for us to play. So that will be Wednesday over on my channel. You can see it on the screen right now, twitch.tv/JohnBarrow. Thursday, right here on RPGClinic, I said that I was going to do a stream about setting up Disconcordia and what goes into creating that kind of mass game and how much effort and stuff we had to put into it. And I didn't last week because I couldn't stream because I got a chance to see my family and I took it because I don't get to see them. But this week, it looks like it'll probably be a thing. So that you can look forward to. That's at 5 Eastern Daylight Time right here on this channel on Thursday.
Friday, we are continuing the Punch Effect. We just began Mass Effect 2.
It's already awesome.
6 p.m. Eastern. We've already ruined the universe, so get hyped. That's Friday. And Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we are continuing Drew Crew. We are reading the Moonstone Castle Mystery. Y'all,
Best book.
This is by far the most ridiculous book we've ever read. We only get through 2 chapters every week because we're laughing so hard.
So bad.
It's
just so funny. No, it's magical. It's really magical. And then I stream at 1700 or 5 o'clock ish Eastern as again streaming Arkham Horror the card game right now. Finishing up a campaign.
Next Sunday we'll be right back here with episode 9 to see what Morale wrote to Pyres, to see what we'll do when the investigation begins.
I think Oresta's real cute. Do you think she likes me? Yes, no, maybe. That was Morale's note.
No, it's yes, definitely, absolutely.
That's how you do that.
And the episode will be called That's Morale She Wrote, folks.
If only.
Right now.
If only.
What the fuck?
We do have to thank everybody who tunes in. Have you watched us on YouTube? Have you listened to us on a podcast? Have you watched us live or watched a VOD? Doesn't matter. We just really appreciate being given the opportunity to come in and play with you. But of course, if you're with us live, chatting with us live, that's super awesome. And we do super appreciate it. For those who are subbed or who have donated, that's also appreciated. It's how we managed to stay with you during the pandemic. It's how we managed to stay with you even during the pandemic, but post-lockdown. And that money just goes right back into trying to keep this stream the way that we hope we can give you good stuff. Special thanks, of course, for Kung Fu Fenris to picking up the Dieclave for today. It's been extremely appreciated,
Yeah,
especially in these weird times. Being on here. Once again, if you want a chance to play with us, Disconcordia, come on in, join the Discord, go find out. That will be very cool. But otherwise, am I missing anything? Right. I have great players. Have a look at them. Go out there, all of you, and find a group that looks at you the way my group looks at each other.
Aw. That's really sweet. We like you a lot, John.
Oh, is that how we look at
Oh.
each other?
That's my. How'd you know my O face?
We're scared.
There we go.
Well, nothing there. Seems the time. Lost it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Also a bit disturbing. Yep.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's much appreciated to have you here. Thank you for game, John.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Well, it's time we head off. We always head off.
That way.
We go in that direction.
All right.
Up and to the right. Boop, 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 boop. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.